that won't come true, but don't pity me. Pity my heart that's gonna break. Pity my kiss that you won't take, but don't pity me. Pity from others I have plenty of, but darling, from you I want love. Pity the love I'll fall away to return to me someday, but don't pity me.
Years on, things are real horrible here in New York, all over.
You're dealing with a lot of people that are maniacs today.
Dealing with an individual who's very basic, who only knows two things: rip off or be ripped off.
Many of those who make good by being bad are nowhere to be seen these days.
I'd be afraid. Of course I'd be afraid. He's a sick guy. He'd kill anytime.
You ever wish?
There isn't anything on earth that I will hide from or back up from.
People seem not to understand the close relationship between organized crime and street crime. And certainly in dealing with street crime in his area or any other kind of crime, the uniform patrol.
Presenzano, shot 4 times, his throat cut. Presenzano was allegedly connected.
The way things are.
Oh shit, I gotta take that away. Hold on. The man, the myth, the legend, Dion DiMucci from the Bronx, New York City, of course, of Dion and the Belmonts. We're going over a lot of Bronx today, so I figured that was fitting. Let me say hello to everybody. My main man, Manny Grossman. What is going on? Mr. E-Rock. Mr. E-Rock, if you're still in the chat, do me a favor. If I was to call you by another name, perhaps a nickname, would that nickname start with K? If you're still in the chat, let me know. Balloon Knot, my man, what's up? Marky Mark. Michelle, always good to see you. Roro, numero uno. Roro, do you have like a wrench in the thing? Is that coming up? Because I noticed the last two streams, like I don't see wrenches. And you're obviously a wrench. Bruno, what's going on? Ruby Almighty. Jeff Nadu, the sit. Yeah, what's up, buddy? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. You guys make sure to follow the Sit Down with Jeff Nadu. If you guys like organized crime, mafia stuff, he also talks about a lot of other things, of course. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, Fin Freak. I haven't seen you in a while, Fin Freak. With, what is that, a zigzag? That's like a zigzag, right? That thing right there? That logo, zigzag? My aunt, Sherry DeLuca, how are you? Allison, how are you? All right, Francesco. All right. I don't want to keep going on. So we're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to talk about a New York City's first time that they ever successfully, well, actually the first time ever that they used a familial DNA to solve a case. And I believe in 2017 was when they allowed it to actually be used. And it wouldn't be until 2021 that they would successfully use it for the first time to solve a cold case. So this is a historical endeavor by New York City, by investigators. And we're going to go over the case. We're going to talk about, it's actually a cold case, which dates back to 1999. Some of this I'm going to have overlays and some of it I'm going to present it. But essentially the case is having to do with a 13-year-old child, a teen by the name of Minerlee Soriano. I'll show you a picture of her here. This is her here. And here she is right here. So Minerlee Soriano is going to be reported missing on February 24th, 1999 from the Bronx. And at the time she goes missing, she's living at 1540 Pelham Parkway South in the Bronx. I know there's some, I think Ruby, Manny, you're Bronx people. You probably know about this stuff. Here's a kind of an aerial footage. Hers is going to be like that one up on the top, facing the highway there. That's going to be her apartment. So what I want to do is I'm going to present to you what's going to happen. So at 2098 Bartow Avenue, which at the time was a Hollywood movie. If you guys remember renting movies, Blockbuster Hollywood movie. So it was a Hollywood movie. And let's show this article. I'm going to add this to the stage. Girl's body found in trash. Bronx teen vanished after school a week ago. 1 week ago, 13-year-old Minerlee Soriano waved goodbye to her sister and walked to her Bronx corner to catch the BX12 bus from middle school 135, where she was a popular 7th grader. When the school bell rang at 2:20 p.m. last Wednesday, she left clad in a red jacket carrying her black book bag. She was never seen alive again. She would go missing. Now, they would discover her once again right here at 2098 Bartow Avenue. A guy was going through the garbage, and he discovers the body. Here's some crime scene photos. You could see at the time, this is the back of the store, the dumpsters. Today, if you look at it, the dumpsters are on the side of the store. So here you see some crime scene photos. So this case is going to go cold for over 20 years. This case is going to go cold. And in 2018, they're going to successfully submit this to the familial DNA database. Now, in New York City, I don't know if this is statewide or not. Wait, let me just look at some of the comments. I'll get back to you guys. I don't know if this is countrywide, how this works, but in New York City, you know, they're basically matching it against offenders who exist already. You know, I've heard in some instances where it's like one of your family members does like a 23andMe. I think that has something similar happened in the Golden State Killer case, but I could be wrong. You know, all states are different. In New York City, seems to be, it's like they're matching it to offenders that already exist. And one of the guys that's kind of behind this, one of the guys, and I'm going to go over this guy's biography too. So Malcolm Ryman, he's a Bronx Homicide Squad detective. And this guy's a big deal. This guy has done a lot. And I'm going to give you kind of a background to this guy because there are heroes in this case. And we'll get to ultimately who has been arrested for this. Malcolm Ryman is going to retire in 2018. As you could see here, he retires. Case closed. Top killer catching cop exits. Let's look at his resume. So Ryman is most proud of how he helped take 3 vicious serial killers off the New York streets. In 2010, Jesus Aguilar, who came to the U.S. from Cuba as a part of the 1980 Mariel boat lift, was busted by Ryman for the strangulation of Tolila Brown, a Bronx mother of 4, whose body was found in 1981. At the time of his arrest, Aguilar was already serving a life sentence for 2 similar murders in the city. He was also doing time for a Bronx sex assault involving a 15-year-old girl. So this is a tremendous individual. In 2012, Ryman busted 2 more serial killers. First was James Martin, 40, who raped and strangled 14-year-old runaway Marlene Cruz in 1998. Martin, as a teenager, lived in Maryland, had sodomized and strangled a teen boy, then stole his $115 Air Jordans. In 2005, Martin strangled his wife in Pennsylvania. Ryman's 3rd serial killer arrest came in December of 2012 when he was chasing a DNA lead from the fatal stabbing of a prostitute in 1993. Another cold case, essentially. Both Ryman and the Yonkers detective looking into another fatal stabbing that same year showed up at the Mount Vernon home to question 60-year-old Lucius Crawford. He's got a long history of crime, stabbing, slashing woman. 41-year-old mother had stabbed to death in the bed. All right, so this is getting pretty ugly. So I just wanted to give you guys a background of this guy's credentials. I mean, because like I said, there's always heroes involved in these cases, and a lot of these guys have extensive backgrounds in solving crimes. This guy in particular, Malcolm Ryman, I believe he was also on Netflix for the story they did on the Times Square killer. You guys remember that one? My man in Ireland, G78, a.k.a. Galactic Girl, a.k.a. 100 other names, but now he's known as G78. What's up, buddy? Thank you so much for the 1999. That is appreciated. I also got a Cash App. Let me see who's that's from. I'm sorry, guys, but I have to give the shout outs. From John Sheeser. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. I don't know if that's which John that is, but thank you. There's two John Sheesers. Thank you so much. What's going on with Pete LaFrocia? Is he all right? Pete's all right. I spoke to Pete recently. It's a long story. It's hard to, he's an ex-gangster. I don't know. It's hard to get on board with Pete. I was hoping to see him when I was in Florida. I spoke to him, but I wasn't able to see him, unfortunately. So let me get back to this guy. So in 2018, what's going to happen is they're going to submit this to the familial DNA database. And the guy who is responsible for that is Deputy Chief Emmanuel J. Katranakis. Now, this guy is a guy that is basically going to decide, is this case worth putting through the database? He's the guy that's going to say, all right, does everything make sense? Do we think that we can get something? Does this case make sense? Is it worth it to do this? This is a new technology using in New York City. To him, it was worth it. And what's going to happen on November 29th, 2021, this guy's going to be arrested for this cold case homicide. And his name is Joe Martinez, Joseph Martinez, also known as Jupiter Joe Martinez. And this is going to get really interesting if you guys do not know this case. There he is right there, Jupiter Joe Martinez. So who's Jupiter Joe? Well, Jupiter Joe at the time was a resident of New Rochelle. If anybody's familiar with New Rochelle, it's up north, upstate there. It's not too far upstate. It's about, I don't know, maybe like an hour outside New York City limits, 45 minutes. It's not too far. So Jupiter Joe Martinez is going to get arrested. Now, who is Jupiter Joe Martinez? What is Jupiter Joe Martinez into? I think if you guys haven't heard this, you're going to be pretty surprised. So I want to show you some footage here. Okay. So here we go. Let's check it out. Who is Jupiter Joe Martinez?
The distance fluctuates regularly throughout the year, but now at about 251,000 miles away on this winter night in front of the Bronx Metro North stop here on Fordham Road, Joseph Martinez of Jupiter Joe's Sidewalk Astronomy, with the help of this powerful telescope, has eliminated that distance for those who want to take a closer look at the moon and beyond.
Excited. It was awesome. Yeah, nice seeing it. It has many mirrors inside. So it's actually almost a 6-foot-long telescope in the light path that it takes. And because of that, you get a lot of magnification.
And no age limit here, just a willingness to get as close as possible to the lens.
I saw the moon, and I saw the top and the white spots.
Today we're looking at the moon. We might get to look at the Orion Nebula, might get to look at Mars.
Here with his family, Joel Rivera says he ran into Jupiter Joe's Sidewalk Astronomy last year and has since become a fan.
That big crater that you saw right in the middle of the moon, that's that crater right there.
Whoa.
Wow.
He's looking to build interest, picking a busy street like this one, where many pause briefly in the middle of their schedules to consider all that is happening above.
The last time I saw the
All right. Manny goes, guilty. Fucking guy. BronxNet. I used to have a show on BronxNet in 97. Wow. Yeah. Brett, what do you think of Darkness New Video? Of course, it's always brilliant. Quentin's the best. So, who is Jupiter Joe? Well, at the time of his arrest, as I said, he was living in New Rochelle, and he developed this persona of Jupiter Joe, where he was doing this, what he called sidewalk astronomy. Now, if you guys go to Facebook and you type in Jupiter Joe, his Facebook account is still there. He was a guy who was interested in astronomy. He would sit on the streets in the Bronx with his telescope, and he developed like this thing where he would hang out on the sidewalk. Parents would come by with their kids, and he would start educating them about astronomy. Now, he also had workshops. He was also some kind of, local ambassador for the stars or space, what have you. So he is going to get arrested. Now, let's talk about how they arrested him. So they had narrowed this whole search down to who could this be. Now, they went back in time to see who they questioned, and they also started looking at the ages of some males in the building to see who was living there at Minerlee Soriano's building, which was 1540 Pelham Parkway South. Okay. Now, disgustingly enough, when they found Minerlee's body, they found a sperm sample on her pants, which implies she was sexually assaulted, then killed. So this animal who did this, which is looking to be Jupiter Joe Martinez, sexually assaulted this 13-year-old girl and killed her and left her in a dumpster. So they get DNA a la Rex Heuermann. You know, Rex Heuermann, the Gilgo Beach killer, they got some pizza box DNA. So they get discarded DNA from Joe Martinez is one of them. Now, through the familial DNA that they did prior to that, they came up with somebody who had been charged with a crime before, who was a convict in the system that matched that DNA. Okay? Then they were able to match that DNA to Jupiter Joe Martinez. Now, the offender that was in that system was actually Joe Martinez's father. So through the familial DNA database, they were able to match Jupiter Joe Martinez DNA to that offender that was already in the database who happened to be his father. Now, at the time when they arrested Joe Martinez, they were questioning him. Do you know about this girl, Minerlee Soriano? Do you remember her? And he said, no, I never even heard of her. I don't know anything about him. But if you look right here, at the time of her disappearance, in her murder, Joseph Martinez was actually questioned about it. Now, he resided in the same building she did. And he would say that he would see the victim in the lobby getting mail, and he remembers her selling candy from door to door with her sister, and he remembers seeing her playing in front of the building. So he's automatically caught in a lie. He's automatically caught in a lie. So if you have a girl that lives in your building 20 some odd years ago who ends up murdered in a dumpster, and you make a comment about it, how could you forget something like that? That's something you could never forget. You know? Turbo Sammy, my man, what's going on? Mr. Grand National. Change that icon or I'm going to steal that Grand National. 87 Grand National. Sick fuck. Yeah. Thank you, Frankie Batts. What's going on, man? You changed your gas pipe Casso, gas pipe Casso, what is that called? An icon? Whatever you call it, your image. Six Semper Fi, what's going on? I read that Tommy Shascioli is getting out next year from prison. Go get him. What am I supposed to do? He's going to get me. I'm not going to get him. You talking about interviews? I highly doubt that. Thank you, Turbo Sammy. Haters going to hate. Yeah, look out for haters because there is some coming after me lately. So look out for those haters. Look out for those foos. Okay, so Jupiter Joe Martinez is currently in custody at Rikers Island. And I could actually show you where he is right here. Year of birth, 1972, 5'7", 240 pounds. I think he's bigger than that. I don't know. I guess they weighed him, but in some of these images, he looks like 300 pounds or more. Right now, he's in the Robert N. DeVaron Center on Rikers Island. Arrest date, as you can see, was November 29, 2021. And he's got a court date coming up on November 16th of 2023. Of course, he's never had bail for this. As you can see there, murder in the second degree, a felony. So he's on Rikers right now. He's got a court date in November. We'll do an update when that comes. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the familial DNA and this cold case being solved of this poor girl? Look at this girl. This girl's of my generation too. Like, you know, I was around the same age as her at the time, 12 years old or whatever in 99. And, they were talking about, I didn't even get to the weirdest part. I apologize. They were talking about some of the things she would do, like selling candy from school. These are things that I would do. Like we would get, the candy sale. If anyone remembers, they would give you the candy sale packets, right? And you would go like ask your family or your aunt, or you would ask your neighbor, hey, you want to buy some candy? And then like if you sold a lot of candy, you would get like some stupid meaningless gift or whatever, So it kind of made me sad. It reminded me like a girl that's from my generation that was just like senselessly murdered. So the weirdest thing about this whole thing, guys, that I forgot to mention. So this is Minerlee Soriano's. This is actually, hold on, let me get rid of Roro's comment there. Sorry, Roro, I got to let you go. So this is Minerlee Soriano's notes. What are you guys noticing right away with these notes here? This is her actual notebook notes. Astronomy, comets, astronomical image library, dates with the cosmos, tours with the solar system. These are her internet websites that she enjoys to go to back in 1999. Okay. So there's this idea that, and I believe it was said that Joe Martinez did have interactions with this girl while they were living in this building. And this girl is obsessed with space. She's obviously going to grow into an intelligent woman. I mean, she could be doing all sorts of things at 12 or 30. She's like obsessed with space and the cosmos and the solar system. I know at that age, I can care less about any of that stuff. So she's got all of these interests, and the man who seemingly killed her ends up becoming Jupiter Joe, the spaceman of the Bronx, obsessed with space, astronomy, telescopes. So it just adds an even more bizarre element to the whole case. Holy shit, total connection there. This dude did it, in my opinion. It's fucking really bizarre, man. It's really scary, man. Hey, what up? What's up, Joey Frakes? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, Brett, I changed it. Now I have a picture of Utica Ave subway station drawing, and I put my real picture on the shirt and hat. That's funny. That's cool, man. Yeah, I don't know how long you were going to keep that gas pipe up, man. I don't know. He's guilty as hell. Ruby, did I say hi to you? I think I did. Thank you. And Ruby and Roro, let me know. Like, I don't know if you guys can see if you have wrenches in here, because like I said, I don't see them anymore. Or if I ever saw them at all. I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, so that's a wild story. Mr. Tony Handsome. That's one of my favorite names, and that comes here. Tony Handsome. It's a very obvious name. If your name's Tony and you're handsome, that automatically becomes your name. Or if you're really ugly, that could be your name too. If you're very unattractive, we can call you handsome. Isn't that funny how that works? I see the wrenches. Okay. No, that Michelle, that just means that, like, if people get out of hand or whatever, I don't know, they could take care of them for me, or they've been around for a long time. Roro's been like one of my biggest supporters forever, so a lot of the times it's just symbolic. I mean, I'm not like a wrench heavy person. I don't have a lot of issues in this chat. I only have anywhere from like 60 to 100 people every time I do a live anyway, but I don't know. I really don't know. He was an offender. That's how they described him. I mean, I'm sure I can dig really deep and find out, but yeah. Did he get convicted? No, he didn't get convicted. He's going to be on trial. His next court case is in November. He's indicted right now. He's indicted for the murder. Jupiter Joe Martinez. David Price, what's going on, buddy? Hand pink, waving text, green, game over. Hand pink, waving text, green, game. I'm sure that makes sense. I can't make sense of it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to step to the barbershop. I hope you guys will still be here with the time. I'll try to be here. You step right in that barbershop, get your hair cut. All right, guys. So I'm going to move on to something else. We'll update on that. We'll get back to that in November. I'm going to move on to something else that recently just happened. And it's a big takedown of another gang in the Bronx. And later we'll talk about this guy, Joe Messino, who just died at 80 years old. We'll talk a little bit about that too. I'm sure some of you guys want to talk about that. I know other channels have. I mean, I can't not mention it, so I got to mention it. We'll talk about it a little bit. Originally, Joey Merlino broke that news, which was kind of funny. If you guys don't know, he's got a new podcast out. He was going on a little tangent about fucking rats. And then he was like, yeah, fucking Joe Messino fucking died. He's dead too. He said some shit like that. And they were like, what? So I guess he found out from, I don't know, maybe a lawyer, or, these guys have connections all over the place. Hey, Brad, I caught darkness underneath. I like that. Another person that's noticed Kevin Mars, Mimi. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'll let that. Yeah. Yeah. I can't really speak about that person, but yeah, I can't. El Toro, the bull. Thanks, buddy. Toro knows about that piece of shit also. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I promised myself I wouldn't say anything. Ro, I'm having a Sicilian. Oh, that's pretty cool. Sicilian pizza in Ireland. How is that? How is that going? All right. So we have a takedown of a gang in the Bronx. We'll go over that indictment, and it's important. I really want to bring this up too, because in New York City and then in other parts of the thank you, Bruno. You're right. And I promised myself I don't know why I did that. In New York City and in other cities, there's a trend right now. And the trend that I'm seeing is that everybody's a mark. It doesn't matter if you're 80 years old. Doesn't matter if you're 180 years old. You're a mark. There's a chance that some 17 or 18 or 20-year-old or even older person is going to target you. And I feel like that's happening more than ever. I feel like that there's gangs and there's groups of people, I guess, who you can consider a gang, whether it be 20 people, 25 people, 15 people who are associated, that live in a neighborhood and that basically set no boundaries whatsoever. Where it used to, or at least we used to have this thing in our heads where it's like, okay, that's the old people. Those are the OGs. That's the lady that I've been seeing since I'm 5 years old, walking the neighborhood. Why would I rob that lady? I feel like all of that is out. It's just gone. All of that is just completely out the window. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I don't know if it's the Gen Z, if it's the new generation. I don't know what's going on. But this is a Fox 5 exclusive. It really wasn't reported anywhere else. I guess Fox 5 had the inside lead on this, and they gave it to him. So we'll watch a little bit about this. It's a couple of minutes, and then we'll go over the indictment as to what's going on in the Bronx right now, because the Bronx is in trouble. There's a lot of shit going on in the Bronx. So let's check out this Fox 5 exclusive. All right, so here we go. Let's watch this.
Exclusive, an overnight gang takedown, and our cameras are rolling as it all goes down.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers was there before dawn with the NYPD, and she has a story you won't see anywhere else.
Abdullah, how will you plead to the charges?
Alleged Fivesley gang leader Abdullah Zika and other alleged accomplices were taken out of the 50th precinct in the Bronx to face a judge on multiple felony charges ranging from armed robberies to attempted murder. While most of the city still slept, officers from the Gun Violence Suppression Division, warrants, and many local precinct detective squads gathered at an undisclosed location in the Bronx to be briefed on the case. Our Fox 5 NY camera was the only one allowed in.
Gun in their head. Gun put to their head. That's how brazen they were. Over and over and over again. We have intel that there may be hundreds out there. Think about that for a second. These are individuals that went into neighborhoods where they felt confident that incidents wouldn't get reported.
As the officers head out, we need to get some extra protection.
We're being asked to put on bulletproof vests because we're going after a crew that is wanted for numerous shootings as well as one murder and numerous attempted murders.
Police say the 12 gang members charged, who range in age from 16 to 21, are known as the Fivesleys because they're from 175th Street in the Bronx. In this surveillance video, you see 4 alleged members, including leader Abdullah Zika, open fire on a Bronx street. A mother has to duck and pull her 2 children down in order not to get hit in the crossfire.
It's disheartening to see that we have essentially some adolescents that are the perpetrator of these crimes.
This drill music video includes 4 alleged members of the gang, say police. The reckless shootouts with rivals are fueled by disses and drill rap videos, says Chief Jason Savino, who insists police are not against the music itself.
Where I have to draw the line is when it incites violence. And we're seeing that, where we have a lot of aspiring drill rappers, and some go in a completely different direction and use their trade as a talent. But we have some that are clear drivers of violence that call out and make fun of homicide victims.
Bronx District Attorney Darcy.
I'm going to stop sharing it there. Did you guys see that one thing where the kid, you kind of had to look in the corner where the kid is literally aiming his pistol above that woman with those two little children walking with her. I mean, it doesn't really get worse than that, dude. Like walking home at night with your little kids and someone is shooting a fucking pistol over your head. And there's one in front of you, there's one next to you, and there's a guy across the street doing it. And they're all 16 to 21 years old, as you could say. Pathetic that NYPD gives Lisa Evers access like that. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Lisa Evers is, she's been around forever. She was a guardian angel back in the 80s. She was actually married to Curtis Sliwa. She has been around for a very long time. And she does the Street Soldiers and whatever else she does. 50th is year. Oh, really, Manny? My neighborhood of Riverdale is about to get culture English. Lockdowns have ruined. Yeah, they ruined businesses. They ruined so much shit, man. Pathetic that NYPD. Oh, I read that already. I was walking my bike trail to a van called the park in the mass. My motorcycles were rolling out, literally sneering at us. We're fucked. Why did you cut it off? There was a part of the problem, Bronx State. Oh, yeah, yeah. That is really funny. Well, I'll read the indictment so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I mean, yeah, guys, I know this is all like, yeah. And we could obviously say that what's going on with some of the politics and the laws in this state, in the city, doesn't lend a helping hand to any of this. I think that's obvious, sadly. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or 13 or so defendants here. Let's go back to the beginning. So what did they say? The Fisley crew have been indicted as on murder, attempted murder, conspiracy, and additional charges for multiple shootings across the Bronx, many in broad daylight, and the killing of an innocent bystander, and robberies in the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, in which cab drivers, elderly people, like I was mentioning before, and a parole officer were targeted. The defendants are between 16 and 22 years old, so we saw this. On April 5th, 2021, defendants Abdul Azika, Devontae Russell, Matthias Andredes, and Justin Polanco allegedly fired multiple shots at rival gang members of the Doe Avenue crew. The incident took place on the corner of Hoe Avenue and East 174th Street. The defendants, acting in concert with each other, allegedly fired at least 3 shots as a mother and 2 children walked nearby in range of their weapons. So that was the video that the news showed where the mother is basically circled by gunmen who don't care about her or her children whatsoever. Now, on April 19th, 2021, they engaged in a shootout at Prospect Avenue, firing 18 shots. You could fire 2 shots and kill somebody by accident. Imagine what 18 shots can do. Apartment building window, some guy watching his TV. April 26, 2021, defendants Nathaniel Jenkins and Matthias Andrades allegedly fired shots in the vicinity of 764 East 178th Street, striking Justin Baez, an alleged 800 YGZ rival gang member, in the arm. He survived. Once again, multiple shots from a car and a gang member. Defendant struck Ariel Santos in the chest. The victim was an innocent bystander who was near his home, standing on the corner when the shooting happened. He was pronounced dead. So he's hanging out, doing nothing, sitting outside in his neighborhood, and he gets shot in the chest, and he's dead. So on October 18th, 2021, they rob an on-duty parole officer at gunpoint. The defendants took the victim's firearm and cell phone. Azika and Outler used the officer's gun during a shooting. So they robbed at gunpoint a parole officer, took his gun, his cell phone, and then used his gun later on for a shooting. Then this is what they do. This is what they did in May of 2023. 3 gunpoint robberies. The victims were 2 69-year-old males and a 73-year-old male. Old people. People who are in retirement. 73 years old. I mean, listen, nowadays people are pretty healthy at that age, but essentially the elderly citizens of our city. Azeka Blackwell and Abrams Ozzy stole a wallet and cell phone from a man in Queens, New York at gunpoint. The victim was severely beaten and doctors had to perform a tracheotomy. The victim was in the coma for 3 days. All right. So you guys kind of get an idea of what's going on with these people. Let me catch up on the comments. Where I was born and grew up in the Throgs Neck, still solid base of Italians, Irish, and Germans. Just refrain from that. God. My kids don't even hang outside. Totally agree. Like the old school. No bail prior to takedown. I'm sure those sheets go back to the earliest. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the problem. Bookworm. They are teens. They're from 16 to 22, as you saw there. So, you know, if there's a record, it's juvenile. Some of them might not even have a record. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is not the first time. I mean, this is like numerous takedowns of these guys with the drill rappers and all this other stuff that's going on over there. It's very territorial for some reason. I really don't understand it. And a lot of them end up fucking self-snitching anyway in their rap songs. They're all snitching on each other. Gen X is well, now Gen Z is totally destroyed. The age was raised. No, they probably don't. I mean, they probably don't. Yeah. It's really bizarre. So that's what's going on in the Bronx. I mean, we have that cold case in the Bronx. We have this recent takedown in the Bronx. There's a few other things going down in the Bronx. There's always something going on in the Bronx. Mine's with those age and they don't hang out. His graduates both got jobs. Ruby, do you live in the Bronx or are you from the Bronx originally and not live there anymore? Vinny Boom Bots, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a live for a bit. Oh, okay. Cool. The mob extorted legit Italian business back in the day, though, and there was still violence. Yeah. Italian and non-Italian businesses they extorted. As if you might have seen recently in my story about Mr. Conrad Greaves, who was murdered in March of 1972 at the El Capitan Motel in Elmhurst, Queens. Mr. Conrad Greaves. I'm doing good, Vinny. I'm doing all right. A little drama, but everything's all right. Everything's cool. The daycare case. Oh, yeah, the daycare case. That's in the Bronx too, right? You guys know about the daycare case? Manny, I saw you talking about that. I think on the Planet X interview you did, the daycare case, where they had a daycare in the Bronx, and basically somebody who was living, I guess, in a room or some kind of apartment or something connected to that daycare was selling a bunch of fentanyl, and one child ended up dying from ingesting, and 2 others ended up in the hospital. And this person, I think this male and a female, I believe, are in custody for this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I can't talk about it, but yeah, that's funny. You are correct. Bruno, question mark. What do you want to know? Is that right, Manny? What's going on with that? Because I heard you write that. I mean, I heard you write that. Yeah, I heard I heard you say that in that interview that you were doing with the Planet X dude. I think that's where you said it. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I heard you say that a lot of them are fronts. That's crazy to me. Like, how would you be able to get away with that? Don't they have to have some kind of license or something to run a daycare? Thanks, Sonny Red Bill. I appreciate that. I don't do many lives. So, You know, I usually have the same core kind of people here, maybe a couple of extras. So I appreciate you stopping by, buddy. We usually don't talk about mob stuff on the lives. We talk about all sorts of things. You know, we cover mob stuff or organized crime, but I like to cover all sorts of things on the lives. Things that are going on in New York City. I'm sure if I did more of these, I would get more of an audience, but maybe I'm just too lazy. I don't know. Many of you know I have a job that I also do, like a 9-to-5 type deal. I'm not going to say real job, because for some people, content creating is the real job. This is their job. But unfortunately, at this point in my life, this is not my real job, sadly. So yeah, sometimes I get lazy. I have no proof, but these daycares pop up like weeds all over the Dominican. Yeah. You know what? You could be right, though, man. You could be right. It's like a lot of the with lots of drugs. Woman and brother-in-law arrested. Her husband took down an alley with shopping bags. Wow. Daycare had a trap door under the floor. Imagine that. A trap door under the floor with loads of drugs. Jesus Christ. I went on a tangent for a minute and ended up checking out some of the Scientology shit going on. Holy fuck, bro. What an onion peel. Yeah, I follow that guy growing up in Scientology. Do you watch that guy's YouTube? He's got a great fucking YouTube channel. That guy's like the best. He's like a bald dude growing up in Scientology. Great channel. Tremendous channel. Yeah. Yeah, Bruno, look it up. It's sad. It's such a crazy case, man. I was being nosy earlier looking at her Facebook. Oh, I do that too. When crimes happen, that's like one of the first things I do. I say, oh, let me see if they have a Facebook. You have a life? You got something? Yeah, I have a life. Unfortunately, I have a life. Yeah, there is a lot of grifters, but this guy is legit. This guy is definitely legit. Fat Tony Salerno's mausoleum is next to my grandparents' grave, a seat room and cemetery in the Bronx. Were you the one that told me that his mausoleum was raided or something? Is that a story that I never ran into for some reason? That somebody like robbed his mausoleum or broke into it? Was that you? If that's a true story, I don't know. RD, what's going on? The man, the myth, the legend. RD357. That rhymes. RD, I have your sticker right here in my drawer. For whatever reason, it's like right here in my drawer. Come on, guys. You guys know what this is. Come on. Bro, yes, that's what I've been watching. They got crazy effed up. Yeah, growing up in Scientology. Like, I don't watch a lot of those Scientology channels because there is a grift. Man, he's right. But that dude he's like number one. Pilfered. Yes, 100% true. Fact. Wow, I have to look into that. Tony Salerno's mausoleum pilfered. That's a good word. Not many people use that word. Pilfered. Pilfered. Yeah, RD, I need a shirt too. Please. I've dealt with them, all my SOS work. These idiots actually think Scientology was behind this. Oh, those grifters. Okay, yeah. No, this guy is not of that ilk. Yeah, those grifters. Okay. 444, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Aaron, SSP a day, not in a cult is a good hey, Aaron. RD, what's going on? What are you talking about? Aaron, SSP a day, not in a cult is a good hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Freaking me out. Rob. Layer Media, Mike Reiner. Yeah, those guys too. New York City Crime, OC Shorts. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I think there's people that are better than me. I don't only do that stuff on my channel, but I like to do it in the way I do it. And I think I've done some interesting things. Don't think I always get maybe credit for some of the interesting things I've done, but that's okay. Serpico on steroids, Back to the Future, USSA, Banana Republic, no elections, you should watch. Bro, what is this? Come on. This is like a cop. This is like a QAnon copy pasta. I'm not making fun of you, Robert Justice, but this is like a comment. I've seen this 100 times. Super going steroids, Back to the Future, U.S. saving Anna Republic, no elections, equal martial law, TikTok, expat, Islander, vote with feet to Argo, possible rip, USSA, control, demolition of the West Bank by bankster. I've seen that comment written 7 different ways. That's like a copy pasta, fucking automatic generated comment. He talks about the skin. Oh, okay. Oh, I know what you're saying. Aaron. I get what you're saying because he uses, he uses that thing from the Key and Peele sketch when he's saying, hey, Aaron. I get it. I thought you were losing it for a second, RD. I was like, what's this guy talking about? Wow, Manny. Thanks so much, buddy. CrimeSpot's the only person I respect in the true crime game. Wow. Thank you, Manny. I know Manny has standards, so that means a lot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, RD. Yeah. Hey, Aaron. Yeah. True Manny, his walk-in talks are amazing. Thank you so much, G78. Yeah. And like I said before, I think there's people that do, that are more, they're like, their mob knowledge is probably greater than mine. But at the same time, like, they know more about the mob, but to me, it's my job to know about a lot of it, but it's not my only job. Like, it's my job to know about New York City. I've made it my job. It's not my job. I made it my job to know about like New York City shit as a whole, just as a whole. Like, I love the history of graffiti. I have fucking RD. Like, this is the weirdest thing. I have RD35. Now, RD might not think this is a big deal, but to me, it is. RD357 is hanging out in my chat for whatever reason. So, that to me is amazing. Like RD, like the graffiti history, all the types of massacres and all the other cases I've covered, all the weird stories, it's a bunch of New York City shit that's in my head, and organized crime and mafia stuff just happens to be a part of that also. So, like I said, there's guys that know that, Jeff Nadeau was here earlier. Jeff knows more about the mob than I do. 100%. OC Shorts, that's all he does is mafia stuff. He probably knows more about the shit than I fucking do. Even though he's from England, he's considered like the best. But I'm trying to, the whole New York City picture. And if you notice, I've never done anything outside of New York City on my channel. Maybe New York, like Long Island, which is not New York City. I did a tour of Ducktown. I walked to Nicky Scarfa's house. Walk down the alleyways. I've never seen anybody do that on YouTube. I went when I was in AC. I made it a point to go to if my buddy Surf Shack is in here right now, he's from that area. I walked down the alleyways with Scarfo's house on North Georgia Avenue, and I got fucking up close and personal with all that shit. I would like to see someone else do that. Maybe it boggles my mind why people haven't done these things. I don't understand it. All the tours inside Robert's Lounge, inside the Bamboo Lounge, inside Sammy the Bull's Tallies, all this weird shit, all these things that I'm not trying to talk about myself a certain way, but I feel like I've done a lot of interesting things on my channel. And sometimes I feel like I am kind of overlooked, but it's fine. I can't comment on that, Sonny Red Bill. I'm not going to comment on that. But I believe you're an intelligent person. Yeah, I mean, we fucking rang the bell. Me and Manny rang the bell at Roy's house. We literally rang the bell to see what the fuck is going on with Roy's house, because Roy's house is falling apart, So we went there, we rang the bell, right, to try to see what's going on Whitewood Drive, 159 Whitewood Drive in Massapequa. Like, what's going on over there? We pulled like some like Channel 10 News, ringing the bell. Excuse me, sir, what's going on? We pulled some shit like that, They were spooked because, in me and Manny's opinion, there's like some weird hoarders and weird stuff going down at that property. Thank you, RD. I appreciate that. And same, I always try to catch your lives too. Your lives are great. RD, man, you really know how to give it to people. Like, I mean, even if someone that's a fan of yours that comes in your chat and like, God forbid they clipped you or like hugged up on your shit, you'd be like, yeah, you're a cool guy, man, but I'm not going to forget what you did to me on that truck, man. That's not cool. That's some funny shit. It's probably an underground daycare. What, Roy DeMayo's house? 22. Yeah. Yep. 22,500 subs. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a slow burn. Like I see like a lot of people pass me, which is cool. Good for them. I'm not a jealous person. But I think it's like a slow burn. I've been slowly like gaining. You know, I can't complain. What I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I mean, to have 22,500 subs after 2.5 years, I mean, that's not common by any stretch of the imagination. That's not common at all. I mean, some people get like fucking 100,000 subs in 6 months, but you know, they figured something out that I haven't, I guess. I don't know. Don't forget Place of Staten Island, Tommy Corrado. But yeah, that was another Manny Grossman Crime Spot adventure. Fucking Tommy Karate out in Staten Island. So we do interesting things, and there's other channels that definitely do interesting things, but you know, I just think that like I said, I'm not better, but it's just different, you know? It's different. It's more like I put myself in the street, or I put myself in weird situations or whatever it may be, or I go inside these locations, or Manny knows too, and I'm not playing it off like it's fucking dangerous or some shit, but Manny knows too. I mean, when you're walking around a neighborhood by yourself and you have a camera, it's like you're trying to like tell the story. You're trying to remember facts in your head. You're trying to make sure you're holding this camera right, and you're trying to make sure everything that's going on around you. And God forbid there's no fucking weirdos that are going to creep up on you and ask you what you're doing. There's a lot of like stuff that goes on with doing that type of content. And I give credit to Manny, and I give credit to anybody that does it. It's a whole different realm of content creating. Did you follow the escapees in PA at all? Was it interesting happening in these parts? Well, I did follow that a little bit. I did follow that. What can I say about it? Wait, the escapee? Oh, escapee. That one guy. I did follow it. I didn't follow it as close as I did other things. I was like looking at it a little bit, like, oh, they have him on camera here. He stole a gun here. Now he's got clothes. Now they think he's in a van. I wasn't really like attached to it too much. Did you follow? Yeah, I just read that. I'm sorry. There's a lot that goes into making successful walk and talks. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm still trying to learn. I mean, you know, I'm still trying to fucking learn how to do it better and how to get better at it. Manny thinks my colors suck, you know, so I'm just still. Yeah, it's cool. It definitely adds a different. Another thing also with like Manny has been showing things, you know, sides of, let's say the Berkowitz case, places, landmarks, the town, and all types of places that people have never really been shown up close, right? And then I would do the same thing, right? Like, you know, let me go to this organized crime or mob or crime scene location that nobody has ever filmed up close. Nobody has ever walked somebody down these streets to show them where this thing happened, you know? And I don't care what anyone says. I know Mooney Dashcam did the Gemini Lounge video before we did, but he was sitting in his car. Me and Manny Grossman are the first people to ever spend any significant time at the Gemini Lounge, any significant amount of time talking, hanging out, showing you the fucking touching the knob, touching the doorknob, showing you people while we're there going in and out, having a fucking church service, breathing that air for you, showing you the fucking concrete up close. We're the first people to ever do that and upload it up to YouTube. And I'm the first person to do a lot of locations like that to upload them to YouTube. So we've made a lot of things happen on this channel. Manny has made a lot of things happen on his channel, and I'm going to stop talking about myself. Brett, late here in Ireland, G78 in hospital tomorrow. Oh, the missus. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I hope she's all right in the hospital tomorrow. Is she getting, maybe she's getting a procedure or something? I hope she's all right, G. Shout out to my man G in Ireland. Shout out to his wife. I hope she's doing well. Much success with whatever's going on. And shout out to you and your family as always, buddy. Always appreciate you being here and your kindness, your donations, everything. your comments. G78 has been with me for a long time. He's the man. Showing the sites makes a huge difference to people. Yeah, it does. It does, especially if you're showing them these places for the first time. And walk. Get out of your fucking house, your car, whatever it is. Take a fucking walk. Give people the full experience. Thank you, bro. It's good to see you. And yeah, let me know. Let me know what's up. If you ever want to email me or whatever, you know the email. Giving you goosebumps for free. Yeah, dude, definitely. It doesn't matter how many times I go there. I get a fucking weird feeling, dude. I did an upload, which was Flounderhead Visconti, who was killed right up the block from the Gemini Lounge. He was living in that apartment there. I forget the address. Whatever apartment that Flounderhead was living in when the Lucchese's killed him in 1991 when they killed. I think it was, I don't know, April of 91, something. The point of that video was to dispute whether he ever took part in the Pierre Hotel heist or whether the Lucchese's had anything to do with that. I don't know. I don't think they did, but call me wrong. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Okay. So the point is, I did the Flounderhead Visconti video and it happened up from the Gemini Lounge. So in that video, I make it a point to go by the lounge just to add it to the video. And it doesn't matter how many times you go to that place. Fucking gives me a vibe at least. But that's just because I know what went on there. I mean, people walk by it every day and they don't think anything of it. Yeah, when me and Manny there, they were having a church service. Remember that, Manny? There was a dude outside. They're all like I guess West Indian kind of people, Guyanese maybe, something like that. All right, Manny, I'll see you soon. Hit me up in the messenger. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. Appreciate it, bro. Everybody follow Undercurrents with Manny Grossman, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, Jazzy Jeff. Appreciate that. City, go visit Harvey Rosenberg's house and mine. Yeah, this is the legend King Arthur, neighbor of Harvey Chris Rosenberg. He knew him growing up. The legend King Arthur. I don't know where his house was. You know where his house was. I never got his address. 100%. King Arthur. You know, King Arthur was the first one to tell me. This is funny. King Arthur was the first one to tell me that Harvey Chris Rosenberg at one point in time had dyed his hair blonde when he was a teenager. And King Arthur said that everybody thought that like Harvey was a little, you know, at that age, at that time, dyeing your hair blonde or whatever. I guess it wasn't considered. This is before Eminem, you know. This is 1968, 69. And I was like, wow, that's kind of strange. And then I had happened upon Harvey Rosenberg's graduation photo from 1969 Tilden High School. And when I had it colorized and like fixed up, what do you know? His hair is blonde in his graduation photo. Do you know that, King Arthur? I'm no legend. 1401 East 52nd Street. Was that Harvey's house? 1401 East 50, or is that your house? Yes, see you, Manny. Probably not a good look for Harvey. No. So that was Harvey's house. Okay, I got to save that. 1401 East 52nd Street. 1401 East 52nd Street. Dude, that's Flatlands, huh, Arthur? Mine was 1429. His was 1401. Oh, shit. 1401 East 52nd Street. Oh, those are those Brooklyn houses with like the stairs that lead up. You know, when I was in kid, when I was still living in Brooklyn as a kid, I'm pretty sure we had lived in one of those, but the stairs were kind of longer leading up to the. So that's Flatlands proper, King Arthur? Yes, between K and L. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. 1401 East 52nd Street. Let me bring it up. You guys want to see Harvey Chris Rosenberg's Childhood home as per King Arthur. 52nd Street. And then we'll talk about Joe Messino if you guys want. If you guys are so inclined. All right. All right. So I got it. Go for it. Okay. So King Arthur, Harvey's former neighbor over there. Sorry, I got to use my mouse. Let me share the screen. Okay. All right. So you're saying right there, 1401 East 52nd. Oh, look, there's a lady doing her leaves or something over there. That's cool. So right here. Oops, I moved over a little bit. So right here. That's the block. Interesting. Right in Flatlands. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You see, I didn't know if it was Flatlands or Canarsie. I mean, I know they're next to each other, but I didn't know if he was strictly a Canarsie or Flatlands or if he grew up. What area specifically? Now, Arthur, how far is that from the Gemini? Which would have been known as Phil's Lounge at that time. Hey, you guys want to see something really cool? You guys want to see something cool? Now, for whatever reason, my chats always turn into Tomeo chats. But if you guys want to see something really cool, I want to show you guys something cool. You just got to give me a minute. Because so Harvey's childhood home, not even 5 minutes from the Gemini, turns into Canarsie when you cross Ralph Avenue. Huh. Interesting. All right, let me show you guys something really cool in relation to Roy DeMeo, which I wasn't going to show anyone because I'm going to put it in a little book that I'm putting together. I'm putting together like a zine, like an art book that I'm going to sell. Like a New York City, if you grew up on zines, I'm pretty sure Vinny Boom Bots, he was in graphic design and stuff. He knows what a zine is. RD knows what a zine is. They're basically like self-published, like art books. And I'm going to start putting them out through my channel, New York City Crime Spot Volume 1, Volume 2. Well, Volume 1 will have to do with the DeMeo crew. And I'm going to be releasing that book. It's all done. It's all put together. I just have to finish speaking and contact the publisher that I found to do it. And then I'll be selling them. And they'll be very cool. They'll be very, very fucking cool. Roro G, let me see. Did Roro send me a Cash App? She says she did. Thank you so much, Roro. $50 from Roro. Thank you so much, Roro. Guys, Roro's the best. She's one of my best supporters, and she's been around for a long time. And I really appreciate you, Roro. Thank you so much. And we're still going to meet. We're going to have lunch, dinner, something. I really appreciate that. And she's also recovering. Let's give everybody a get well to Roro, everybody. Get well because she's recovering. She spoke about a little in my last live. She did have a brief illness. And I think she is doing better now, but still. Brenda Sykes. Oh, come on. Love your last interview with that musician in Florida. That was awesome. Yes, Alfred Caponera interview. One of the piano players for Henry Hill's Suite. And he's got an amazing fucking story. I hope you guys like that. Brenda Sykes, thank you so much. $49.99. Last time you did the same thing. Really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you, Brenda, so much. That's amazing. Thank you. You're the best, Brenda. And Roro, of course. Brenda, another one that's been watching for a very long time. One of my earlier subscribers. Really appreciate it. My trip was great. You know, there was people that I wanted to see that I didn't get to see. But that's okay. Furby 666, one of my favorite avatars, the Furby smoking the joint. I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking long. I meant to show you guys something, but I have to find it. I have to find it here on my phone, and then I will show you guys. I think this is something I've never shared, but I think it would be cool to share it with you guys. Let me just find it, and then I have to send it to my email, and then I have to do it here. But it'll be worth it because it's pretty cool. And it's DeMeo related, which you guys, I guess, always love to hear. Okay. So I'm gonna send this to my email, and then I'll be able to put it up here for you guys. Once again, thank you, Roro. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, G78. I know you laughed. Thank you for your donation. I keep using the thing, and I got a Bluetooth mouse right here, and I keep fucking hitting this thing. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to pull up this Gemini Lounge DeMeo related thing, and I think you guys are going to find it extremely interesting. Okay. Now let me add it to this. Now, my only hope is that it's going to show well on the screen. Roro, you know what the problem was? Don't make fun of me. My brightness on my laptop was down really low. Yeah, that's really what the issue was. That's how stupid I am. Okay, I'm going to flash this and make sure. Okay. So I got to make my screen bigger so you guys can read this. This is from, I'll tell you exactly when this is from. Let me just get it correct so you guys know. Okay. Guys, this is from May 31st, 1973. So all you guys that are into the Roy shit, the DeMeo, the Gemini, all you guys that are into that, you should find this very interesting. So. Now this, let me preface this. So this is put out by a restaurant that used to be on Avenue D, 8814 Avenue D. So 8814 Avenue D, all right? Let's discuss this property really quick. Okay? Now this is like a big kind of almost like a big trapezoidal shaped property. It's got Avenue D, it's got Foster Avenue on one side, and it's got East 89th Street on the side spot. This is the same building where they had the Canarsie Lounge. Then you had Dee Dee's Restaurant on East 89th Street in the same building. You had Patty Testa's Auto Garage. Across the street on Foster, you had Patty Testa's actual dealership. On the other corner, you had Bruno Facciolo's Social Club. So if you guys are kind of seeing what's going on here, this is like a fucking ridiculous mob location. It's a location that I went to a couple times in my videos. So let's put this on the screen and let's read this. Okay. '73, put out by Dee Dee's Lounge. We're most happy that Charlie Doherty is starting to see the light. His boy is doing fine and finally taking over Phil's bar at 4021 Flatlands Avenue. So he's deciding to close for 3 months, just to fix a few odds and ends. Such a name. Oh, Charlie, my boy. Then it was a toss-up. Should it be Italian, Jewish, or Chinese? But a guy shouted from the bar, Charlie, keep it Irish. I'll cook for you. Thank God the worst is over. But watch out for that guy, or you're going to wind up with the Irish coffee on the Blarney Stones. Well, that bar that Charlie D was opening up didn't become an Italian restaurant or Jewish restaurant or anything of the sort. it became a human chop shop. Yep. What's up, Chatting with Stacks? Another channel. Follow Chatting with Stacks, another creator in the space. Thank you so much, bro. So, if you guys saw what was going on there, that was Dee Dee's Lounge making an announcement that Charlie D was opening up a new bar at 4021 Flatlands Avenue. Now, who's Charlie D? Charlie Doherty is Roy DeMeo's childhood friend. They grew up on Avenue P together. And the Gemini Lounge would go in Charles Doherty's name. He would be the front owner. And for whatever reason, Dee Dee's Lounge is making an announcement that this bar is opening up. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. That's just something that I found, a little piece of history that I found. Were they doing that because Charles Doherty was very close with the owners of Dee Dee's Lounge? Were they doing that as a favor just to put it out there somewhere that Doherty is the one that owns it? I don't know. But that's something I've never shared before, and I thought you guys would find that very interesting. The New York City history is great concept, but a more interesting topic would be how possible to live and raise a family in these communities that seem no longer be affordable to working class. That is interesting. Not kind of what I do here, but that's interesting. I will tell you a good way to do it, a way that I did it. You want to know how to do it, Furby Love? I don't know how old you are, and I can't be responsible for everybody around me. But a good way to do it is get a job, get a significant other that cares about you a lot and you care about them a lot. Make sure they have a job, save a lot of money, and suffer a little bit here and there. And then you could have a down payment. It's kind of simple, but it's hard. No one said it was easy. That flyer is definitely interesting. Thanks. Yeah, it is. It is very interesting. Front guy for the bar. Yeah, I mean, it's a fact, Bruno, that Charles Doherty was a front guy for the bar. John Doherty, his brother, was a crooked auto crimes detective, also on Roy's take. And their other brother, Dan Doherty, was another one that was crooked with them. There's 3 Doherty brothers. Yeah, Whitestone Bayside. Yeah, well, that's another story. I mean, I guess you have a point there. You have to have a really, really, really good job. I think the average home in Whitestone or Bayside, if they put it out to average, is probably $850,000 to $900,000, something like that. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Stacks still hanging out. Thank you. So what about Joe Messino? Joe Messino is dead at 80 years old. What do you guys think about that? That's right, Roro. MobFacts just put up the video from, I think, 86. I think 86. Messino's a part of a big trial, and you could actually see the real video of him walking here. You could see that. I think that's a racketeering trial in relation to labor racketeering with Local 814, I believe it was. Yeah, he died in Ohio. Actually, Anthony M. DeStefano put out an article with Newsday, which actually said that he was in Ohio, but he actually was recently moved to like the New York State area into some kind of rehab or care facility where he died. So it could be that they knew he was going to die and maybe he wanted to come home to die because he's probably going to get buried. If I had to take a guess, probably in St. John's Cemetery in Middle Village over there. Yeah, that's true, Nick. Everyone dies at some point, yeah. But I guess everybody was not a former mob boss, significant character in New York City criminal history. Taxes are ridiculous. Yeah, they are. They are. So Joey Massino dies at 80 years old. I guess he was in witness protection in Ohio, technically, I guess, right? I mean, how many keys of horse you think Joe Messino flipped money, or did he not touch the how many keys of horse you think Joe Messino flipped? Touch the dope world. It's interesting you say that, ATB Mob, because I want to show you guys a cool book that I've had for a couple of years. So this book is pretty fucking cool. It's a very academic, like it was put out by a law professor. It's basically a banana book, essentially. It's called Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murders. And it's put out by a law professor by the name of Leonard Orland. I got it on the secondary market a couple of years ago. And to my surprise, when I opened it, it was actually signed by Leonard Orland. He has since passed away. It's not the easiest book to come by. You can maybe find it on the secondary market or maybe like on law college websites or something. I doubt it, Stacks. I mean, he's probably just came here to die. I mean, he probably had a very painful, I'm sure. I mean, he was fat, diabetic, out of shape. Damn, I've never seen that one. Yeah, it's not a common one. It's one that I came upon a long time ago when I was looking into Tommy Karate stuff. And for some reason, this came up in my search. And I was like, oh, shit, that's really cool. And I was able to find it. I don't even know where I found it. I don't really remember. But it's really fucking cool. It's a cool book to have on your shelf because I wish like there was more books like this where it was just like running down the cases. So Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murders. And you know, if you guys don't know, like when Massino does get convicted in 2004 before he cooperates, there's like 7 murders, right? Amongst other crimes. And we'll look right now if you want. We'll see if there's drugs in there. 7 murders. Tony Mira, Sonny Black Napolitano, Big Trinchera, Philip Giacone, Sonny Red and Delicato. There's 2 more. Oh, Gabe Infante, Cesare Bonventuri. So that's 7. And then there was the attempted murder of what the fuck? What's the guy's Giliberti? What's the guy's name for the local 814? Gilberty or something. So there were 7 murders that was a part of that, and an attempted murder on the other guy. There you go. Yeah, I just named 7 of them. And of course, after in the second one, there was the Jelano Shasha murder also that he would plead guilty to. Pretty sure he would plead guilty to that. Massino too. Done an interview before that. Yeah, not very thoughtful of him. Yeah, what a fucking greedy son of a bitch. Massino got off pretty easy. I read that already. Is that right? That's pretty interesting. I would love to get a letter. Massino did have a lot of people killed. Yeah. And as I was saying, there was 7 a part of that. Massino, I guess what you can call Massino 1, like the first thing. So this book is pretty cool. It's also actually the first book where they hold on a second. I'll show you guys in a second. And I'll look through that because I don't know every fucking single thing, you know, he was charged with. But I thought it would be cool to read a bunch of the things that he got hit with. ATB Mob, you're the one that asked about the drugs. No, I got to check that. I don't think he got sentenced yet. All right, I'll be watching that. Thank you. I will be watching that. So I'm going to go over that because I bookmarked it. Just in case anyone did ask, and you did ask that question. So we'll look through everything. Son of a bitch. Okay, yeah. So this is the first book where I actually came across some pictures of these guys that I never saw before, which I used in a video. Like you see these guys right here, like Billy Bright, Richard David, Lloyd Modell, Frank Martini, also known as Frankie Jupiter, Tommy Karate, and Kojak Giattino. Some of these pictures I had never seen before of the Patera crew until I got this book. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there is a Patera crew. I mean, I feel like that term is not often used, Patera crew, but there's like 20-something people indicted, according to the government, of the Patera crew. There's a bunch of people involved in that. No, that's not going to happen at all. No. All right. So ATB Mob, you asked about drugs. So I bookmarked here. And I thought this would be cool too. So you guys can get a sense of like when they take down somebody of Massino stature, what they actually charge somebody like that with. What's the chance of you getting interviewed with Anthony Center just a test? 100% better looking. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Toro, it's unbelievable. I mean, I promised myself I wouldn't talk about this, but as you guys could see, Toro, like my channel has just been my channel. Like I haven't commented about anybody public. It's nobody's business, like stuff like that. But certain people get unhinged. And if you guys saw certain emails, I mean, you would be like, whoa. I've never heard that crew, but it's true also. Frank Ganji. Yeah, and of course Frank Ganji, Manny Maya, a bunch of people. Couple of women, Judy Hamowitz. Okay, ATB Mob. So guys, look at all these counts. There is 1, 2, Jesus Christ, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Should I actually read all this stuff? Should I read all these counts in this indictment? Hold on a second. I got a $20 Cash App from Sherry DeLuca Wagner. Thank you so much. It happens to be my aunt. I didn't think she was still watching. Thank you so much, Aunt Sherry. I really appreciate that. Another donation. Thank you so much. Let me just shout out John Sheeser, Rosemary, Sherry DeLuca, my man G78, Brenda Sykes, Roro. Thank you so much to everybody that donated. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Terry's alleged, almost 70, he's still a beast, trained in the art religiously like a monk. Yes, read them. Thanks. I got to get that book. Oh, shit. Forgot Massino had Tony Mira Merck. Yeah, that was part of the 7. That was part of the 7. So ATB Mob wants me to read them. Okay, so this is everything that they hit Joey Massino with. Once again, if you guys can get a hold of this book, it's not the easiest book to get a hold of, but you probably could. Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murderers by Leonard Orland. It's got the Tommy Patera case. It's got obviously you see Salvatore Vitali. You see Vinny Gorgeous. You see Joe Messino. It's basically a banana book. All these guys that got hit with like death penalty shit or whatever. Okay. At the request of ATB Mob, this is his fault that I'm going to be reading all this right now. Okay. Count 1, racketeering, Title 18, United States Code Section 1962. Count 2, racketeering conspiracy. Count 3, extortionate collection of credit conspiracy. Count 4, extortionate extension of credit conspiracy. Count 5, illegal gambling. Count 6, illegal gambling conspiracy. Count 7, illegal gambling, baccarat. Count 8, extortion of John Doe number 1 and John Doe number 2. This is in connection to something called King Catering Extortion, so extorting a catering company. Count 9, money laundering conspiracy. Count 10, extortionate extension of credit, John Doe 3, parentheses, Peter Calabrese. 11, collection of extensions of credit by extortionate means, John Doe 3, once again, Peter Calabrese. And that was the, all right, that was all racketeering. Now racketeering again, 1A, extortionate extension of credit conspiracy. 1B, extortionate collection of credit conspiracy. Count 2A, arson conspiracy. Count 2B, arson. Count 3, murder of Alphonse Sonny Rudd and Delicato. Count 4, murder of Phil Lucky Giacone. Count 5, murder of Dominic Big Trinchera. Count 6A, conspiracy to murder Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano. Count 6, the actual murder. Count 7A, conspiracy to murder Anthony Mira. Count 7B, the actual murder of Anthony Mira. Count 8A, conspiracy to murder Anthony Giliberti. Anthony Giliberti, that was the guy that I was talking about who was the local, I think it was 814, the labor's union. Conspiracy to murder and attempted murder because they didn't kill him. It was a botched hit. Conspiracy to murder Cesare Bonventuri. The murder of Cesare Bonventuri. Illegal gambling, choker poker machines. Illegal gambling, baccarat. Conspiracy to murder Gabriel Infante. The actual murder of Gabriel Infante. Extortion conspiracy of John Doe 1 and John Doe 2. Money laundering conspiracy. Illegal gambling, sports betting. Illegal gambling, sports betting. That is a state and a federal charge. 16A, extortion extension of credit conspiracy. That has to do with Peter Calabrese again. 16B, extortionate collection of credit conspiracy again with Peter Calabrese. In addition to convicting Massino of these crimes, the jury also returned a forfeiture judgment for $10,393,350, as well as the forfeiture of Casablanca, which is his restaurant, and Cafe Via Veneto. So there you go, guys. ATB Mob asked me to read all that, so I did. That is everything that they got Massino on. Pretty fucking wild. You guys could see actually what they charge somebody of his stature with. I mean, these range, but no, I didn't see any drugs. Is what you asked. That's not to say that he wasn't connected to a bunch of people doing that. Yeah, Matthew Maury, yeah, whose father I think was also a gangster. Sounds like trumped up. My God, what a bunch of psychos. They hit him heavy. Yeah, this is before the Georgie from Canada murder charge. That comes later. I sound like a grand jury prosecutor reading all those counts. Yeah. Yeah. And then this book goes into the whole Randy Pizzolo situation and obviously wiretapping Marciano and how he gets out of that and this and that. It has Anthony and Delicato stuff. And as far as the I mean, this is so cool. It actually has like it actually has the juror questionnaires for the Tommy Karate case. You could play along and answer the questions as if you were a juror yourself on the Tommy Karate case. So yeah, so it has everything in relation to that. Jesus Christ, guys! I think Tommy Karate's is like freaking double the length of Joe Messino's, if you can believe that. There are so many counts in this indictment. Unbelievable. Oh, you know what I'll read, guys? Because I mentioned before the Tommy Patera crew. It doesn't really often get mentioned. Him as like being the crew, right? A crew. So here you go. This is everybody who the federal government dubbed his crew. So you have Tommy Patera, Richard David, Vincent Giattino, Thomas Carbone, Billy Bright, Lloyd Modell, Manny Maya, Joseph Senatori, Frank Gangi, Michael Cassisi, Richard Leone, Dennis Michael Harrigan, Frank Martini, also known as Frankie Jupiter, Louis Mena, associated together and with others for the purpose of, among other things, committing crimes of violence and distributing heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. There's some other people that aren't mentioned here that I've seen as a part of this indictment also. I'm pretty sure it's like 20-something people. But I guess these guys are the main. So I'm not going to keep going on and reading like I'm a professor, but this book, Capitalist Punishment, Trials of Mafia Murders by Leonard Orland. It's a pretty cool book. Get your hands on it if you can. I have another message here. Allison S., $75 Cash App. Thank you so much. My wonderful, tremendous future mother-in-law, basically my mother-in-law already, but we'll get that taken care of, I promise. Thank you so much, Allison. You didn't have Allison, you're already so good to me. And Alyssa, the best. Thank you so much. And I'm going to use that to take Alyssa out. We're going to have a nice meal with that. Thank you so much, Allison. Again, you're the best. Always the best. Thank you again. Yeah, lots more than I thought. Thank you, everybody, once again, who donated today. I mean, this is unbelievable. I don't do that many live streams, so when I do them, it means so much that people donate. It means I probably should do more live streams if people are willing to donate and help me out. Because most of this stuff, guys, believe it or not, like, if you see what I do on this channel, I travel, I drive around a lot, I go to locations, and I do a lot of stuff like that. Gas is expensive, and you know, everything else that comes along with that. Also, like going inside these places and reviewing like the restaurants, and everything costs money. So believe me, it goes to a good place trying to put out content for you. Brenda, how could I forget? Brenda Sykes also for the 50 earlier. I don't think I mentioned her before. So if you guys are just joining me, you know, we've talked about a few things. If anybody wants to catch up, you know, I covered a couple of things in tonight's live stream. We covered New York City's first use of familial DNA to successfully solve a crime. This is the first case, and it has to do with Jupiter Joe Martinez, who was arrested on November 29th of 2021 for the murder of 13-year-old Minerlee Soriano, which occurred in 1999. In February of 1999, this poor young little girl was abducted, killed, sexually assaulted, and left in a dumpster at 2098 Bartow Avenue. Over 20 years later, in 2021, Jupiter Joe Martinez was arrested. The NYPD used familial DNA database. They got his DNA and they matched it to somebody who was in the offender's database. That offender that was already in the database, Jupiter Joe's father. So if you guys want to learn more about the case, you can go back to the beginning of this live stream. We also talked about a Bronx gang takedown, which occurred recently. I played a clip. It was a Fox 5 exclusive clip, and I showed the indictment. These nut job 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds running around, recklessly shooting guns, killing innocent bystanders, robbing senior citizens. If you guys are interested in content like that, you could also rewind back and check that out. Yeah, same here, man. You know, it's a part of the game. A lot of people don't. It is worth it. It is worth it. I don't really get that much donations. If I do a live stream, I get donations. Sometimes I'll get a super thanks. But most of this is like, you know how it is. I mean, a lot of people know how it is that create content. You put money into it to bring people content, you know. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for chilling. Appreciate it. We need Lord license. Thank you. The whole time I thought you were rollerblading to these mod spots. Nah, I wish, bro. I wish. I wish I was rollerblading. I hate Jupiter Joe. I hate him too. I wish they would send his ass to Jupiter on one of them fucking Elon Musk SpaceX jobs. I'm frozen. Yeah, they got him. They got him. Thank you, Scott H. Thank you so much, buddy. Buy a gallon of gas. Thank the government. Yeah. Yeah, that's about a gallon and almost a half. No, it's like a gallon and a half, something like that. Thank you, Scott H. You're the man. Piece of shit, rotten hell. Yeah. Yeah, so familial DNA profit is they'll put it in. Now, I don't know if New York City. So in New York City, from what I understand, from what I read, from what I can understand, they're matching it against offenders that are already inside a database. In other examples, like when I've seen it used in other cases, it's like even if your relative does like a 23andMe and like 23andMe or Ancestry.com DNA, like the government has access to that shit. I think that they can get you like that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. All right. But they got a sample from discarded DNA from that guy, Jupiter Joe Martinez, right? Wait. Let me rewind back. I'm sorry. They got the DNA from the girl's pants, the ejaculate DNA. They ran it through a database for using the familial DNA software, right? Now they got a hit on it from a guy who was an offender in the database. They built a family tree for this offender, right? Okay, so who is this guy's children? Who is this guy's cousins? Who is this guy's whatever, right? From those guys, they started saying, okay, where did this guy live at that time? Who is this guy? They found Jupiter Joe Martinez in his family tree. He fit a specific age range they were looking for. They weren't looking for a 70-year-old guy, an 80-year-old guy that would steal a young girl. They were looking for somebody relatively young, maybe 20s, 30s, or 40s, that committed this crime. Joe Martinez was somebody that they were looking at because he was in the family tree. When they started looking into him, they realized that he lived in the same building that this girl that disappeared lived in. Then they realized that he was also somebody that was questioned at the time in relation to her disappearance and murder. They followed him. They got some discarded DNA from him, and it matched the fucking DNA. Does that all make sense? I think that makes sense, right? You could look it up on your own. I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense. He's got a court case coming up in November, Toro. He's got a court case coming up. Here we go. Right now he's on Rikers, Robert and Devoren Center in Rikers. As you can see, arrested November 29, 2021. And he has his next court date is November 16th, 2023. That's the next court case for Jupiter Joe Martinez. If you commit a violent crime in New York, you check your DNA. Once they have your DNA, I guess. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, with the familial DNA, New York didn't approve it until 2017. And then, so this is the first case. This was submitted in 2018. And by 2021, it takes like 2 years. It takes forever to even do this shit. By 2021, they were able to get the person. So it's the first time in New York City, Prophet. It's the first time in New York City. Not in the country. Texas are good at what they give resources and support. We need more. Yeah. And even the process, guys, like this is not a standard thing in New York City. Like they're not just going to do this all the time because it's very time consuming and it takes a while. So as I was saying before, you have this guy right here, Deputy Chief Emmanuel J. Katranakis. So basically any familial DNA shit, any forensic stuff has to go through this guy. This guy has to look at the case, has to analyze it, see if it's worth it, see if it makes sense to do so. And in this case of Minerlee Soriano, he looked at everything that the detectives and the people working the case showed him. He felt like it was worth it, and it paid off. It paid off. So you know how it is. Everything's checks and balances, and everybody's got a and they're cheap asses. Yeah, they're cheap asses. Yeah. Very bizarre. Yeah, the Golden State Killer, Joseph D'Angelo. Yeah. Yep. In case anybody wasn't here, I mean, you know, I don't know if you guys know, I keep saying Jupiter Joe. I don't know if some of you guys were here when I started the show because it's the first thing I kicked off the show with. Basically, he's going to be popular at Rikers for committing a particular crime. Yeah. I'll play it again. I just got to bring it up real quick. I'm going to play it again just so you guys can get an idea for anybody that is remaining here in the chat. I'm going to shut this down soon, but I just want to show you guys so you get an idea of you know what this guy's all about. Keep in mind, this guy was arrested, and King Arthur, thank you, buddy. Have a great night. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Remember, I'm just a neighbor. I know. You're just a neighbor. For anybody joining, King Arthur, I called him a legend before. I don't know. I like to call him whatever. The man, the myth, the legend. King Arthur, former neighbor of Harvey Chris Rosenberg, Roy DeMeo, crew member. Yes, that's true. That's true. Yes. So yeah, Jupiter Joe Martinez, for those of you who don't know, the guy that was arrested for this was 49 years old. He had no criminal record, and there's a reason why they called him Jupiter Joe. And I'll play this one more time just so you guys can get an idea of why they would call him such a thing. Here you go.
The distance fluctuates regularly throughout the year, but now at about 251,000 miles away on this winter night in front of the Bronx Metro North Stop here on Fordham Road, Joseph Martinez of Jupiter Joe's Sidewalk Astronomy, with the help of this powerful telescope, has eliminated that distance for those who want to take a closer look at the moon and beyond.
Excited. It was awesome. Yeah, it's nice seeing it. It has many mirrors inside. So it's actually almost a 6-foot-long telescope in the light path that it takes. And because of that, you get a lot of magnification.
And no age limit here, just a willingness to get as close as possible to the lens.
I saw the moon.
No matter what I was...
So there he is. That was Jupiter Joe Martinez, the guy who's arrested, who apparently has killed Minerlee Soriano. Jupiter Joe Martinez of Sidewalk Astronomy fame. Pretty fucking bizarre. In time, I promise. In time. Be wary of those into astronomy. Yeah, astronomy or astrology. There's like a bunch of memes, right, about that. Like if a girl asks you your sign, run the other way. No offense to anyone that's into that stuff. Yeah, Scott H, isn't that crazy? That's the dude. That's the dude they arrested. And to make it even wilder, Scott H, just to recap again, there was some evidence that he did have interactions with this girl when he was living in the building with her. And these are pieces of Minerlee Soriano's notebooks. And if you notice everything here, it's all about space. So at 12, 13 years old in 99, she was going on the internet. A lot of the things that her favorite websites had to do with space, solar system, Sky Online, Sky Pub, Astronomy and Comets, Astro 2 Live, Stargazer site. Yeah. So take that into consideration, how strange that is, man. So the girl's murder occurred in 1999, Scott H., and Jupiter Joe Martinez was arrested in November of 2021, and he has a court date coming up next month. He's been remanded in Rikers since then, no bail, and he has a court date coming up soon. Yeah. Yep. Here's an original article from the time it happened. Girl's body found in the trash. Bronx teen vanished after school a week ago. And it talks about her going missing and being found in a dumpster behind a Hollywood video in Co-op City. Yeah, man. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Nobody has a clue he's a murderer. Shit is wild. Yeah, man. Nobody has a clue. Nobody has a clue. Steve Valley. Thanks for bringing us all the great videos. It's always nice to see when you're on location, especially one who has been in the New York City area one time. I was in Brooklyn way back then. Thank you so much, Steve. That's awesome. $20. Thank you, Steve. I don't think I've ever seen you in the live. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And that's why I do what I do, because there's people in other countries and other states and other areas that are never ever going to be able to see these things in person. And I spoke about it earlier about my channel filling a void for a lot of people because a lot of people haven't, you know, went to a lot of the places that I filmed. And I made it a point to really just do something different here and put a different spin on things. And I hope I have. Thank you so much, Steve Valley, for the 20. That means a lot. Thank you, buddy. Johnny Pearlcott, thank you. I remember at the end of my last live stream, right when I ended it, you left a super chat and I didn't get to say thank you. So thank you so much for that super chat that you gave at the end there. I did not forget you, buddy. I remember everybody that gives me anything. Always remember. Thank you, Steve, so much. Thank you to everybody. So kind. Thank you, everybody, for just hanging out. I mean, for devoting your time to my dumbass. Does anybody want to come on? Does anybody want to be a guest? Anybody? That's something I've never done. I never dropped a link for anybody. Does anybody want to come on and have their voice heard? I've never dropped a link. Who wants to be the first? Maybe I have, but it might have been like planned or something. 18, no problem. Nice. 18 mob. Does that mean drop the link? You don't have to show your face. You can hide behind an avatar or something. I'm not going to be here that long, but I will drop a link if anybody actually wants to come on and say something. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, buddy. That means a lot. What is that? Is that are those like Jeep Wranglers or something in your thing, or like some kind of military vehicles? Matthew Wells, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you're a little late, an hour and 47 minutes in. I'll probably end it soon. Thank you, Matthew Wells. Matthew Wells, as I said 5 minutes ago, I never forget anybody that gives me anything. Matthew Wells has also donated to me in the past as well. I always remember everybody who's ever given anything, whether it's months ago, 7, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, it doesn't matter. Thank you, Matthew Wells, for being here, working. Well, that's a good thing. Good thing to be working. Some people can't find a job or kiss my ass. Oh, I'm dropping the link. I think ATB Mob was serious. So that's a StreamYard link. Anybody can click that if they want to say hello. Or if you want to troll me or show your ass cheeks and run away really quick. Ruby still going strong. Matthew Wells. Good job. It's good to be working. RD, you're still here? Have a good night, RD. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only RD357. We should do something soon, man. Maybe a part 3. I don't know. Maybe a walk and talk. That's what we got to do. Mr. RD, a walk and talk. Let me know if you're into that. Walk and talk. That would be fucking awesome. We'll walk around Upper East Side, Central Park, whatever you want to do. Walk around the neighborhood. Maybe you have a little in your hand. LOL. Also, ATB Mob is here. Let me let him in a second. Be well. I need to order a t-shirt. ATB Mob. What's going on, man?
NYC Crime Spot. What's up, man?
How are you, man? Where are you from?
I'm from DC.
Washington, D.C. Awesome, man.
Yeah. And that like Maryland now, but man, yeah, you got to do another RD joint.
Thank you, Bo. Give me 1 second. Il Toro, $10. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. And Toro, I have seen some of the comments you may have left on other channels in relation to a certain character. I appreciate that also. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Hell yeah. Hey, when I get a couple bucks, I'm going to hit you off with something.
No, it's all good, bro. Thanks for even hanging out. You're actually the first one that's ever come on my channel after I just decided to drop a link.
Yeah, man. I'm just bullshitting. I had my first kid just recent. So I'm like,
oh, congrats.
Thank you. I'm just sitting on the back deck blazing one. And I'm like, I caught this. I went on YouTube and I'm like, oh shit, NYC Crime Spot, bet. Bet.
Oh wait, so you've never seen my channel?
No, yeah. I've been following it for a little while.
Oh, I thought you just randomly found it. That would have been even cooler.
No, it's on. I'm subscribed.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it shows up on my feed. I'm like, oh, live on a Friday. I got a break right now. I'm sitting on the back deck at the house. Yeah, it's perfect, man.
Thanks,
I love what you're doing, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And
man.
RD's the legend, man. That dude is.
Oh, so you're into graph?
Oh, yeah. Since 1997, awesome. That's when I got. Well, that's when I started writing. But before that, like I got obsessed with it in like '92, probably.
Okay.
But I didn't start like actually doing it and became a toy, and then like graduated. Years and years and years went by.
Nice.
It was fun. It'll never leave me. I still do it.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
The real shit though. Highways, street shit. No fucking. I respect murals and all that. That's all good and well, but I like. That's why I like RD shit like that.
Hell yeah. You know, there's a famous street artist from DC that turned into a prolific actual street bomber. You know who I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
You are?
It has to be. He's from Virginia, though.
His tag is named after a fruit?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's from Virginia.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. But then he went hard. And matter of fact, he was born in Manhattan.
Really?
He's a Greek dude.
Yes, he is.
I know him. We're not like friends, but we actually have painted before. But like we didn't really. We had a war. We went to war in DC at one point. Like,
wow, is that right?
I banned him from DC because he made a mistake when he was coming up, and he clipped one of our things, and then we were like, all right, that's it. And we were super active at the time, so it was like, all right, that's lights out. Like we clipped everything he did, and then he changed his name to that fruit name, which is cool. And he escalated, man. The dude, gotta give him his.
It's wild.
Props.
It's pretty wild.
He went hard.
Yeah.
He moved to NYC and fucking smashed it. Like, yeah. Got it. But it's funny. I got crazy stories, all types of shit.
Give me 1 second. Johnny Pearlcat, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. More on the way. For sure. DC sounds fun. RD says. RD, you know the guy we're talking about. I'm not going to say his name out of respect, but you know the guy.
We know.
His tag is named after a fruit. But
yeah, he definitely.
Maybe I gave away too much saying that, but there's not really many like graph people. I mean,
right. That's why I found when I first started following your shit, I saw you had RD on, and I was like, oh shit, all right, he's okay. Yeah, I got, and I always love the mob shit. Like I collect books.
Thank you
for fucking ever. That's like the only things I read are like mafia shit or graffiti shit.
Yeah, crime, mafia. Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up the same way. Yes, I am. Prophet, it's the same name, NYC Crime Spot. I talk to people on my messages there, a lot of people that are subscribers, but I don't really post on there. But you can certainly message me there. RD says LOL. Yeah, so RD was the one that I had on my channel, 2-part interview. And there's also another video, if you go way back, of an old friend of mine that used to write Rambo.
Yep.
The billboard guy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, you see that big piece of wood with the skull praying behind me with all those letters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Rambo. I have about 5 or 6 Rambo Lance paintings.
Yeah. He went in. He went in, man. He definitely did a lot of shit.
Yes.
Shit. I remember seeing from like probably like around 01, 02, I started seeing him pop up. Maybe 03.
Yeah. He started in the West Coast, and I guess like you said, he probably came to New York City maybe around that time. I don't know. He's in his 40s. I mean, he was older than me. He was not old, but older than me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lance was probably 43 or 44 when he died.
Yeah. Rest in paradise.
Yeah. Interesting guy, complicated guy, but interesting to know him for a little bit in my life for sure.
Did you do the tags and the straight letters for the graphics on your page?
So the tags are mine.
Nice.
That little thing on the bottom is not. That's a buddy of mine that writes.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say his tag, but all the hand styles I do or whatever.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. What do you think about Nino? Let's segue into Nino Gadji. I want to ask you what you think.
Sure.
You know the story of when him and Roy got in a shootout with like the off-duty cop or whatever, and they like swapped the bullets and shit.
Yeah, so Roy actually didn't get into that shootout. He got away. It was Nino and Peter Pacente who got caught up in that shootout, and that little rat Roy actually escaped that whole situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like he went to the hospital and he dumped a slug into like a barrel of the same type of gun or whatever. I don't know. It was confusing. I remember reading. I'm like, I don't even know if this actually happened.
So the story goes that Nino gets shot.
Right.
And the gun that, how do I put this? One of the guns I think that Roy like throws into the sewer or something.
Yeah.
He retrieves that gun. So the bullet that's in Nino's neck, that's coming from the other guy that shot him or something. Like the guy, Paul Roeder, was like the guy that was off duty. I think his name was Paul Roeder.
Right.
Apparently Roy gets that gun, shoots a bullet out of it, and then gives the spent shell casing or whatever the fuck it is, the bullet or whatever it is, to Dominic Montiglio, who sneaks the bullet into Nino in the hospital. Nino's lawyer tells him from the beginning not to take that bullet out for whatever reason, probably some legal reasons. And apparently Nino digs the bullet out of his neck, and then the bullet that Dominic sneaks him from the other gun ends up being the bullet, I guess. So then Nino says, no, I got shot from someone else or something. It is a complicated story.
Yeah, but he beat the
now
case.
That I'm trying to like remember it in my head. It's making my brain
It was always a fascinating one to me. Like he beat the case though. So I think
there you go. Yeah, they made it look like the same gun that shot Eppolito shot Gadji. There you go. That was the thing. Yeah, so the gun that they used to shoot the Eppolitos in the car, they made it look like, because that was the gun that Roy ditched, right? The one thing I will say is that Sammy the Bull tells the story, but he tells the story that Roy DeMeo went in there and fucking dug a, but Roy DeMeo would not be allowed anywhere near Nino Gadji in a fucking hospital, right? So Dominic, being family, going there with the wife, Rose Gadji, that's possible. But you have to remember this is all coming from, Dominic, who says it's a real story. I mean, I believe it, I guess, because Ross Brodar believes it. He was a good friend of his, so
I kind of feel pretty like some of the shit, it's got to be it's got to be exaggerated to an extent, but like Dominic, I think I kind of feel like he's genuine on the shit that he said. I don't know though. We don't know. It's grain of salt all day.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of what he says is genuine. If you speak to Ross Brodar, who lived with him and made one of the guys that made the film, Lynchpin and Bensonhurst, he would say that in his later life, he would get drunk or messed up, and he would like exaggerate some things, and you couldn't always tell what was real or what was not coming out of his mouth. But as far as I'll say with as far as like the book Murder Machine, let's say, for example, I think people often make the mistake and believe that like everything in that book is coming from Dominic Montiglio. But a lot of that book is coming from Broadway Freddie and Vito Arena's testimony. A lot of the details, a lot of those details of those murders, Dominic, there's no way Dominic would have known about that stuff. But those murders that like Freddie was involved in, that Vito Arena was involved in, a lot of those details are there, and a lot of things that they heard
from deep research. That who was it? Capici and who else? Mustaine?
Gene Mustaine, yeah. So they had spoken to Dominic, and then they were also, I believe, attending the court. You know what? They weren't attending the trials, I don't believe.
They did their research.
They did research, and they still missed a whole bit of a lot. And well, do you know how Jerry Capici says he came across the story of Roy DeMeo?
No.
he claims that he got a piece of a FBI transcript or something that was it was like recording Gene Gotti and Quack Quack Ruggiero.
Right.
And they were kind of alluding to this idea that Paul Castellano was feeling people out to see who would take Roy out.
Oh shit!
And according to Capisi, Gene Gotti. According to Capisi, Gene Gotti was essentially saying, "I don't want anything to fucking do with it. Like, no fucking way. Like, this guy has an army of killers around him, or something like that." That's coming from Jerry Capisi. So I don't know. People seem to think maybe that's not true, but that was Jerry Capisi's premise behind the whole thing. And then he was like, "Who the fuck is this guy, Roy DeMeo?" And then I guess probably around 89 or 90 or whatever, he starts writing that book.
Yeah. All in all, it's a good book.
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's
a good one.
I enjoy it.
And that dude did have an army of killers.
100%.
That's definitely fact.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Wilding out.
Pretty scary stuff, man.
Yeah, it's fucking twisted crazy.
Furby, didn't Nino's family sue? Yeah, so Rose Gaggi ended up suing. How much she got for Nino's death, I don't know, but I believe what she managed to do was change some of the way they deal with prisoners if they are having a heart attack or sick, or she managed to change some of the laws because Nino Gaggi basically ended up dying when he maybe
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah. Do the Sammy voice, Cry Spot. Do the Sam. Was that when they say "Oh my God"? He's like, "Oh my God." You ever notice that about Sammy? He says "Oh my God" a lot. Oh my God. Murder Machine is highly entertaining no matter what. Yeah, it's very entertaining. ATB Mob, do you follow the Darkness Underneath podcast, my friend Quentin?
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Okay, cool.
I don't watch it too frequently because sometimes it's just like depressing as fuck. But
yeah, well, that's okay because he doesn't post frequently. But he did put out another video yesterday.
There's been some good ones. I've caught a couple good ones for sure. Yeah. I know a lot of people. They always ask me that. You know about it? I'm like, yeah, I know it.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
And they're like obsessed with it. They watch every one of them. I've seen, like 10 of them, and they were good.
No, it is depressing. It's very dark. It's a dark topic in mob history. It's extremely dark.
Yeah. The darkness underneath. That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about dark underbelly. Okay.
A soft white underbelly?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really fucking.
That's depressing.
No, that's really fucking depressing.
That's the one. But no, the darkness underneath. I actually just was. I fell asleep last night to the new one he put out. Of the DeMeo shit. I gotta
tell Quentin his stuff's putting people to sleep.
Episode 14. No, it was perfect. It was perfect.
No, I know.
Just zone out, lay down.
Yeah.
He's got some good photos.
Yeah.
That, like I've never seen. Like he's got some good flicks.
Yeah, some of those Freddy photos, Broadway Freddy. Those are coming. Those are coming from Freddie's brother, who Quentin has become friends with.
No shit.
He's one of the sources for the book that he's writing.
Right.
I thought Big Paul told Frankie DeChico that Roy had to go and take care of it. Yeah, that's what Sammy says, that he approached Frankie DeChico and Frankie DeChico reached out to the twins and they set it up. One thing I don't believe is that Nino Gaggi was there for the murder, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't see a reason for it at all.
Yeah, he was but then again, like he was involved in some wild shit that he shouldn't have been there on the scene.
Oh yeah,
considering his status, status, it was like, you shouldn't have been there. But who knows? Those dudes were wild to do work. Yeah,
he was willing to put in work like anyone else. Like, a lot of capos aren't willing to like go out and actively commit murders and shit. I mean, it's pretty Especially like you brought up the Eppolito murder with that shootout. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that one's wild as hell, man.
You got to think like a 50-something-year-old guy. It's like, why are you driving around in a car blowing people's heads off?
Yeah,
a family man living in Brooklyn. It's a fucking bizarre world that we can't even imagine existing.
Right, right. What year you think that was?
That was in 1979, October of 1979.
See, he was already he earned his stripes. He was like, he didn't need to be really out there like that.
No,
but I mean, it's in his blood, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Gadji was born in the 20s. That was October '79. He was like in his 50s, bro. He was in like
it's crazy.
I'm pretty sure he was born in like the late 20s or something.
That makes sense. Yeah, late 20s.
Yeah. So, but there was a lot of guys like that at that time. It's like it's unfathomable that these guys are driving around murking people, and they're just like regular dudes, like regular Italian guys,
family and everything. Go to church on Sunday.
Absolutely insane. He just had Joe. Yeah, he had Joe Colombo's son on. Yeah, that was interesting. The Iceman movie was horrific. Yeah, that's a stupid movie.
Yeah, that shit sucked.
Yeah, Chris Colombo. Yep.
Yeah, what was he on? He was on
He was on Soft White Underbelly.
Oh, okay.
And I think he was on Jeff Nadeau's channel too recently.
Yeah, I saw that one. And it was good, but I don't know. Half the shit he was saying, I couldn't even follow it. But but I mean, it was good.
Yeah. So how was it in DC? You're in Maryland or DC?
In Maryland now, yeah.
How is it over there?
DC. I'm in and out. Like I'm in DC or I'm in Maryland. Right now I'm in Maryland, but like it's every day change. It's like 1 week I'm in DC and then I'm in Maryland, but it's all right. I mean, the weather's all right, but they say that it's gonna be like crazy fucking like crazy storms tomorrow, so I don't even know if I'm gonna get to work.
Yeah, I heard the same. It's gonna be really bad this weekend.
Is it up there too?
Yeah.
They say it's gonna be something wild, but
who
knows?
Nonstop.
Maybe I'll get paid. Maybe I'll get paid and not have to drive around delivering packages all fucking day.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, for now. I mean, I sell cars on the side just on my own. I go to the auctions and shit, but
nice.
But besides that, I do Amazon deliveries, man.
I was just gonna ask. Yeah, so Amazon, how does that work?
It's all right. You just hop on the phone and you can pick a shift if you want it, if you like it, and then you go and see what happens. Sometimes it's a shit show. Sometimes it goes smooth. You know.
That's the Flex, right? Amazon Flex?
Yeah, exactly. Drive my own car, listen to what I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Smoke that's what I want to smoke, and that's that, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I heard there was a problem, or there's like some of the headquarters, there was like people like hanging out there and taking up space and shit. Does that happen to you?
Like
delivery drivers?
Yeah, they do that. The other day I went and like there were so many people. I had a shift already clocked in. And it says on my phone, like, hey, it might take 30 minutes to get a route.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right. So I wait 30 minutes and it says, sorry, there's no route. But good news is you still get paid. So I'm like, all right, I'm on the way home, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
PG County? What does that mean? Does that mean anything to you? PG County?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
Prince George's County, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty big county.
Prince George's County, Maryland. Okay.
Yeah. It's like on the edge of Southeast DC all the way to the edge of Montgomery County, Maryland.
So is that like where like, you know, they say like all like the wealthy lobbyists and all the DC people, they live in like Maryland, right?
Yeah, well, DC also, but yeah, like PG County, not really. There's some big wigs out there though, just like anywhere. But Montgomery County, there's a lot of big wigs.
Okay.
Yeah, the top dogs making all the munsies.
Crazy.
Yeah. There's big time rich areas out there.
Yeah, like you'll have like a lot of media people, a lot of like obviously politicians, lobbyists, and they're all like
exactly.
Crime spot. You ever look into the Bucks County, Pennsylvania case? The kid's family had a lucrative construction company, and he watched too much Sopranos and buried 4 guys with a backhoe.
Damn.
What the fuck? He watched too much Sopranos and buried 4. Dude, I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, do you say he watched too much Sopranos because he thought he was like a wise guy, or just because was there like a wise guy angle? Did he start like slicking back his hair and dressing like a tough guy or something?
Yeah, he got hyped up.
Sean Gibson, you're one of the best that comes. Thank you so much, Sean. You're the man, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by. Brian Rimlinger. I went to College Park. I lived there too. College Park.
Yeah, that's PG County.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's where University of Maryland is.
All right. Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, my father lives in North Carolina, so if I like drive down there anytime, I'll pass through. Or I've been to Baltimore a couple of times, but I really haven't spent much time over there.
Oh, Baltimore is fucking nuts. I'm like a 20-minute drive from Baltimore. I'm like 15 minutes from DC, pretty much right now. But okay. Baltimore is wild, man. The buff, it's non-existent. They don't buff anything.
Really?
Everything runs. Since the pandemic happened, it's a free-for-all. It's insane. I love it.
Wow.
And Baltimore was known as Buff City.
Yeah, every time I went there, I think 3 times I was there. And I don't recall seeing much graph, really. I mean,
yeah, nothing. It was more of a freight scene there.
Yeah,
it was because they were really concerned throughout from like the mid '90s until like the pandemic. That was like their main focus was like, forget about the homicides and and all the narcotics. Fuck it. We got to clean this graffiti up. That's pretty much how they were rolling, you know?
Yeah, that's like quality of life shit. They're like, oh, this looks bad, so it makes everything else, go to shit.
Forget about the boarded up row homes.
Yeah.
On every other block. Let's clean this graffiti up. But now, no, they don't give a shit. Whoever's in charge of that, they do not care. Everything's running. There's been like a lot of Remo.
Remo BTB?
Yeah. TD. They did shit like 3 years ago when the pandy started.
Wow.
And it's still running. TD smashed it.
TD, rest in peace, Mike. Rest in peace, Mike.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mike. That's it. He does not ever miss writing that for his boy.
Bro, that dude has been doing graffiti probably since forever. Like when I was like getting interested in this shit, when I was like 12 years old, I would like see his shit. And then he disappeared and then he fucking went crazy. Like he had nothing to lose, bro.
Oh,
like the last few years, just insane.
It's in him.
Crazy stuff. Even Fat Joe. There was an interview with Fat Joe. He was talking about it.
He was talking about TD?
I think it was like Fat Joe and Action Bronson. What? And they started talking about, because Action Bronson used to write graffiti too.
Like a little bit.
Yeah, he was in Smart Crew. I mean, I remember his shit because we're from the same neighborhood. But and then like Action brings up, TD's coming back, and Fat Joe's like, oh, he's been up since way back in there, because Fat Joe, he was a real graffiti writer too.
Yeah, he wrote crack.
Yeah. So they started talking about TD. They were like, "Yeah, he's killing it." I was like, "That's so funny."
That's funny as shit, man. Look, I won't say I hate, but I avoid going to Virginia. I don't like Virginia like that much because they're like, it's like so hot out there. Anything you can't fucking walk on the train tracks just taking photos or go to the river without like getting a $150 ticket,
It's funny you say that though, because I was going to say before, when I do drive down south, that's actually when I start seeing graffiti.
Yeah.
When I start getting into Virginia, I don't know if it's Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond is
maybe it's
loose.
Richmond. That's when I start seeing like high spots and like shit here and there.
There's a good amount in Richmond. It kind of has always been like that. It's even more now though, as far as I know. But yeah, I saw TD out there in Richmond. I'm like, damn, all right, he's on the move, man. Recent.
Neo and Skay.
Oh yeah, you know, I know Skay. That's my boy.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah. I met him out in Miami about a couple years ago.
Oh, cool.
By random.
Wow.
Very random. Like somehow Graph came up. And we just started. It was so random, man. But yeah, he did an interview on Graph Hour or some shit. It was like on Instagram Live, I think. Like, I don't know, like a couple months ago. But it was really interesting. Yeah, that's RD's boy. I mean,
yeah, back in the day. I don't know if they are anymore. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I asked him a couple questions about that. Those big silver joints they would do. Shit, we're going into Graph history and shit. Let's get back into Mafia.
Yeah, people are gonna get fucking bored over here.
Yeah, they're gonna
ask you one more thing. Do you follow like the freight scene or anything like that? Do you know of any?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I pay in freights once a week, at least twice a monnt.
You aware? Do you follow any like accounts of guys that hit a lot of freights at all on Instagram and stuff?
I recently I haven't been on Instagram because like it kind of bums me out because like I can't be like super active right now, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
they got friends that are like, you know, involved.
Yeah. But I definitely went. I'll be back. I'm on a hiatus on Instagram because like that shit gets me too amped up. I'm like, man, I gotta go paint because all I follow on that shit is Graph. So I'm like, oh, I want to see who's doing what. And
I know.
all right, tonight's the night I'm about to paint. My boy just called me, who I believe he just probably fucking relapsed because he only calls me at this time of night to write graffiti, and he only writes graffiti when he's drinking. So I didn't answer it. I don't have time right now. But
yeah, that's what RD called it on Instagram, on YouTube the other day. He said he relapsed. Right, Roro?
That's it. Yeah.
Go
but
back.
I followed like like Ick.
Ick, yeah, of course.
ICH, like the kings of freights to me are like King 157, Ick.
Yep.
Ichabod, Jace,
the JE, right?
Yeah, that's a good. I love that throw up. That's a good throw up, man. So, Nino Gaggy, rest in peace.
What do you think if Big Paulie got rid of the Gotti crew, including John Gotti? How much stronger the Gambino family would have been today? Big Paulie's version of OC has become. It would have been interesting if he did that. I don't think it would have stopped. I think Paul was going to prison for life anyway.
Oh, they had
especially with all, especially all the shit that Roy DeMeo did. I mean, he was going to go to fucking prison for life. I mean, I don't see how he wasn't. Because he was a part of that indictment, that 84 indictment with all those guys, 20-something members of the Roy DeMeo crew plus Paul Castellano. I don't see how he was going to ever skate from any of that. And then the commission trials on top of that. I mean, I think he was going to fucking die in prison.
Yeah, it was over anyways.
I think it was over for him, but it would have been interesting. I'm not like, I hate to say I'm a fan because I'm not a fan of these guys, but I'm not like a huge Gotti guy. I mean, I like his story. I think it's extremely interesting. I find some of the guys around him to be very interesting, you know, but I'm not the big, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but 40 years ago, somebody tagged the overpass on the Belt Parkway in front of the Mormon temple that said, "Surrender Dorothy." The Mormon community was very displeased. Surrender Dorothy. What does that have? What is that in relation to?
That's on Interstate 495 in Maryland.
Oh,
it's above the train. It's overpass train tracks. And someone did right. Yeah, it was in the newspaper and that was way back. But yeah.
Oh, it said Beltway. I read it as Belt Parkway in my mind because there's a Belt Parkway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, where the hell is there a Mormon temple in New York City? I never.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
Montgomery County, Maryland, actually.
Oh, I get it. I watch Baywatch. What's going on, man? This guy's been around for a while, or he disappears and comes back. Yeah, I don't know, Roro. I have no idea what that's all about.
Oh shit! Yeah, what is that about?
You know, they said there was a microphone with. I think that the the actual language the FBI uses in the reports is a microphone with a missing tape recorder, as if there was supposed to be a tape recorder attached to it. But how the fuck do they know it would have been attached to it? Unless that was the only thing that would have been attached to such a microphone. I don't know. It's weird language that they use. A microphone with missing tape recorder. What does that mean? Look who we got here. DeMeo Crew 666. I love DeMeo 666.
Man, I missed what you said about the microphone and the tape. I don't remember that.
Yeah, so it probably says it in Murder Machine. I don't remember, but I know for certain in the FBI files it says in the car they find a microphone with missing tape recorder.
No shit.
Yeah. I guess they're assuming that type of tape recorder can only go. I mean, that kind of microphone can only be accompanied with a certain type of tape recorder. I don't know what that means.
Right.
Because it said missing tape recorder. I don't know. This guy, Brian Rimlinger, you could still see the outline of the tag. That's funny. All those years later. Wow.
Yeah, you can.
That's pretty
cool. It was with roller paint.
Oh, it's a roller. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You can you can Google image that shit. It's gotta be there.
Any word on Gotti's son-in-law, Carmine, the bull? He kind of went off the radar. Yeah, I have no idea. I know that his one of his shops was in a place called the Iron Triangle, which was the place we used to go to do graffiti, which is across from Shea Stadium, now known as Citi Field. It was all the junkyards that used to be there.
Yeah.
And it was, you went in there, it was like a third world fucking country in there. It was like its own community of junkyards with like bad plumbing and fucked up sidewalks, and you really couldn't drive your car in there because like you would get a flat tire. It's crazy, but that's where he had one of his auto places. So what is that thing called? I mean, if you want, I'll Google it. What was it called again? Mormon tag or something? Mormon. If you want to. I guess so, Roro. That's probably what that means. Did I lose you, ATB Mob? I think we lost connection. Ruby still hanging tough. 2 hours and 23 minutes. Yeah. It was horrible. This guy nuts. Yeah, I guess we lost him. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. If he wants to come back, there's the link. There's the StreamYard link. What are you doing? My cat messing around. My friend belongs to Queensboro Motorcycle Club by the junkyards at Shea. Oh, really? I didn't know there was like a club over there. I know there was problems with people playing music over there for a while, fucking bringing sound systems from hell, fucking blasting out. People in Whitestone were hearing that shit. It was a big problem. I'm probably going to get going soon. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you, everybody who donated. Thank you, Il Toro, for donating. Thank you, Roro. Thank you, Brenda Sykes. Thank you, G78 and Cherry, John Sheeser, Allison. Did I forget anybody? Scott H, of course. Thank you, buddy. Who else? Who else? If I forgot anyone else, I apologize. Crime Spot, any comment on the migrants? I've seen Elisa. Do I have any comments on the migrants? I don't really try not to get like political or anything on here, but I think it's pretty obvious that it's causing a huge issue for New York City, and it's going to continue to cause a big issue. I mean, even the mayor who's letting it happen openly admits that this is going to be causing a huge fucking problem. So for anyone to say that it's not, you're lying. As far as the situation as a whole, like I said, I have a policy that I don't really try to get political or cultural or whatever on my channel, just as a general rule, as a policy. But it's a horrible problem. It's a big fucking problem. And I don't know. Yo, what's up, man? Yo. You there? Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Did you mute yourself? It says your audio is not connected or something.
Nah, it's working now.
Oh, there you go.
My phone was
18
blowing up. It fucked everything up.
Oh, okay.
I'm here though. Yeah, man.
JT Maxta, big up from Nottingham, England. Yo, big up to you, buddy. Wow, England. What time is it over there, dude? You're up late. Awesome. Roro, 1999. Thank you, Roro. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Roro is hitting it off. That's my mom's name.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Roro's the best. Roro's like,
that's awesome.
I can't even tell you. I mean, how cool she is. And,
yeah.
Hey, dude, great job with the DeMeo story. Oh, thank you, Major Plausible. Which one are you referring to? I've covered a lot of stuff. A lot of characters in that crew, a lot of storylines, a lot of things. 2:39 in the morning. Damn, bro. I'm sure you can handle it. You're looking all jacked. You're probably doing all right. Major Plausible. Which in particular? Oh, I've seen a bunch. Oh, hey, thank you. A collective thing. Thank you, buddy. What else? Were you here before ATB Mob about Joe Messino? What did you think about that?
With him, what about it?
No, he just died. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what was he? 80?
80 years old. Yep.
Yeah.
Sick and fat, diabetic.
When he flips, did they pull the shit they did on Casso and just not give him anything, or did he get out? I don't remember.
No, he got out. He did about 10 years.
Yeah.
But he got out in, I believe, 2013. If I'm not mistaken. If anybody knows that answer for sure, you could correct me. But I'm pretty sure he got out in 2013.
That's not
after
too
serving.
bad.
Yeah, he was locked up for like 10 something years, and even that was an early release. He was locked up for like 10 and close to 11 years, let's say. And that includes 8 murders.
Yep, he got to sit back and live, breathing the oxygen, not in the city, and think about all those murders.
So, Jared, according to what Anthony M. DeStefano, who is obviously a news columnist and a guy who's written a lot of mob books, he actually wrote a book on Joe Messino. He wrote a book on Gotti, Charles Carnegie. He wrote a bunch of books. According to what he said in his Newsday article, Joe Messino was actually living in Ohio for some time. And recently, closer to his demise, he had been transferred to the New York City area where he was living in a rehab facility. I assume, you know, maybe he was moved here because he didn't have much time left, and it would have been easier for him to pass away in New York City, because he's probably going to get buried, if I had to take a guess, in St. John's Cemetery over there in Middle Village, if I had to take a guess. That's close to where he grew up. That's a cemetery that has a lot of mafia guys in it. That would be my opinion. Awesome, JT Maxa. Fucking love it. Thank you, man. Kat just leapt up behind you. Did he? Did she? Oh, yeah, she's over there. She's been freaking running around making noise.
What's her name?
Nora.
Nora.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. She's called Bugsy.
Oh, that's a cool name. Bugsy. Massino has a restaurant in Ohio. Was trying to get a restaurant going before he passed. Is that true? Where'd you get that from?
In Ohio. That sounds like it might be legit. I don't know where you come up with that.
I don't know. I don't know. Ruby Almighty. She has two. You have two cats, Minnie and Lucifer. Lucifer.
That's a good one.
Lucifer, the light bearer.
It says
Minnie
or Mimi.
Huh?
Was it Minnie or Mimi?
Minnie and Lucifer.
Yeah.
Where's Rupert? Rupert, I don't know. He's probably in bed. He's probably locked up. Or else I would bring him on camera. That's another cat of mine. He's got one eye.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you don't really have any mob over there in D.C., Maryland, right?
Nah. There's like links I've heard to Baltimore, like from like back in the day, but like there's really not been much documented about that shit. I don't really know. I know like the Genovese had some connections way back running shit in Baltimore, but like I don't know. I've never really seen anything about it or heard any or read.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either.
But PJ, you know the old train writer PJ.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he was involved with some things.
Yes, he said that he got in an interview. He said he got involved in a mafia racketeering case.
Yeah, and
what's that about?
I think it was involved with Baltimore, and I think that's how he caught his Fed case.
Really?
Yeah,
I got to hit him up.
Yeah, that dude's a legend, man.
Maybe RD is friends with him. I don't know.
He might know.
Huge respect, bro. I remember way back, some div. Don't give up your day job, bro. You have come leaps and always going. Thank you, man. I feel like I have made progress. Don't give. I don't know if you're referring to day job. This isn't my day job. I mean, this is my side hustle, essentially, that puts extra bucks in my pocket and makes me creative. I do have a job, like a regular 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it, that I report to 40 to 40 plus hours a week, and I do this on the side.
For fun and a couple extra bucks.
And maybe someday it'll turn into something. I don't know.
Yeah, doing these live joints, man. I'll definitely tune in, man.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, I don't really do them. I try to do 1 or 2 a month.
Yeah.
It's not enough. I should probably do like 3 or 4. Where did you say Massino had been living before coming back in New York? So I'm not saying it, Mike Marino. This is coming from Anthony M. DiStefano in his Newsday article that he put out when he was talking about Massino dying. He said that he had been living in Ohio, but recently ended up back in the New York City area at a rehab facility. Where exactly in Ohio, I don't know. That's coming from Anthony M. DiStefano, who's an accomplished writer and news columnist. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. He wrote a book on Joe Messino, one of the 2 or 3 who have. I think Capisi might have also.
Yeah, I have one.
Sure.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like 3 different people wrote a book on Massino.
So wait, he was in a rehab?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been known for a while that he's been sick. I mean, the guy was
okay.
Didn't take care of himself. I mean, he was pretty obese his whole life. I mean, he was pretty overweight,
but it wasn't like rehab, like drugs rehab.
No, they just call it like a nursing home / rehab facility. Right. Like people are either there for nursing, like they're gonna die there, or you have elderly people, or sometimes not elderly people. You know, actually, my mom, when she was alive years back, she was in a rehab facility just recovering from an injury, and most of the people that were there were like old people.
Right.
So it's a mix. It's a mix of both. Danny, ever get anywhere with the link? I'm not going to talk about that. Why not write a movie? Are you talking about me write a movie? I would love to write a movie or a book. I have a lot of ideas. I'm surprised no one has tried to hire you as rescue hero. You seem pretty good at that. Thank you. I do like to investigate things. If I can go back, I'd probably try to become like a homicide detective, to be honest with you. I heard he was hiding in New Mexico. I don't know. Like I said, this is coming from Anthony M. DeStefano. I have no idea. Turbo Sammy, holy shit, buddy.
Damn.
19,999 Turbo Sammy. Dude, you're the fucking man. This is another person that's like unbelievable supporter.
Turbo Sammy.
Wow, that's Turbo. Dude, you're the fucking man, dude. That means so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I don't even know what to say.
That's awesome.
I don't know what to say. That is so awesome. Turbo Sammy's cool. He has a good taste. As you can see, he's gonna go crazy. I keep mentioning this all the time. As you can see, he's got himself a nice 87 Grand National, which is the rare one. You know, they got the 85, they got the 86, they got this. 87 is the one you want to have. Turbo Sammy has one. I'm jealous. I wish I had one. I had an 86 Monty SS T-tops at one point. A G body, but not exactly an 87 Grand National. Sorry, Turbo. I'm never going to stop saying that. But thank you once again, man. You're the fucking man, dude. That means so much. Thank you, buddy. And you don't have to do that. Nobody has to do that. And the idea that you guys do that because, like, I'm entertaining you, you appreciate what I do. I mean, it's fucking awesome, dude. And thank you for being here. Dude, I keep forgetting if is it ATB Mob?
Yeah.
All right.
From like when YouTube first started, I need to change the name, honestly, but I just kept it.
No, it's cool. It's not showing up on my screen unless I like click your name, I think. So I forgot the Did his wife stay with him with inspection? No, I don't think they were together. And I'm pretty sure she still had a house like in Howard Beach. I'm pretty sure that was still in their hands as far as I know. I don't believe they were together. Josephine Massino, sister of Salvatore Vitale. Thanks again, Turbo. Thank you. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. New York City crime spot. Is there a concentrated area where most of the mob dealings went down, or was it spread out? No, it was spread out. It was spread out. I will say in the boroughs, a lot of the times it's concentrated in more spread out in some boroughs than others. Like Brooklyn, it was like so spread out, right? It was really spread out, like East New York, Canarsie, Bensonhurst, Gravesend. It was like so spread out. And those neighborhoods were very notable and known as being mob neighborhoods. Whereas like Queens, like you had people spread out, but it's like Howard Beach, Ozone Park, like maybe Maspeth, Ridgewood, like you had, but it wasn't like as spread out. I think Brooklyn was the most spread out as far as like the most presence in a lot of different neighborhoods, if that makes sense to people.
I agree. I agree with that.
Are you still in touch with Manny? Yeah, I'm in touch with Manny. Manny was hanging out here earlier, of course. Manny's a good friend of mine. Manny was here. Yep. V6 Turbo. Yep. Thanks, Major. We'll let him know. Yeah. Yeah.
OG Ruby Almighty.
Yep.
That's my daughter's name, Ruby.
Oh, is that right? So you got Ruby and Roro in here. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
And that's your daughter. You just had this is a new child.
2.5 months.
Wow, congratulations, bro.
Appreciate that, man. It's
I'm hoping
wild.
to be there. Hoping to be there
Wild.
soon.
Huh?
I said I'm hoping to be there soon.
Man, we'll link up at some point. I'm telling you, we will.
No, I was talking about. Well, we can link up. That's fine. But I was talking about with the baby.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, as far as linking up, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Ruby says congratulations. It's always good to have another Ruby enter the world.
Nice. Thank you.
Let's see. Turbo, did you leave? Did you drop a hundo and just bounce on everybody?
Bounce like Voight. Bounce like Spalding.
If you were Massino's wife, why would she follow him? He ratted. No, I think Sal ratted first. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked.
Yeah, he was first.
I think she was embarrassed by her own brother. And Massino didn't decide to cooperate until he was going to get hit with that Georgie from Canada murder, that Jolando Shasha murder.
Shit.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. I'm not a Massino expert, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went down.
That's what they say.
Yeah. There, Sammy. Toro, yes. Turbo V6 3.8. Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. No, Sal ratted them on first and then Joe followed. Yeah, it was Sal that ratted first. And actually, at the time, if you go back and look at the press, I mean, Joe Messino's wife is like so fucking embarrassed by all of it. She's like extremely embarrassed by this. Her own brother is just, bless him, pops in, lays on. He's still here though, but yeah, I thought he left us. And as I was saying earlier, for anyone that's still here, if you guys could ever get a hold of this is a cool Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murders. This is a cool kind of an academic type book put out by a law professor. It's got a lot of cool information in it. So if you guys ever...
Yeah, I'm going to find that one.
It's a good one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to add that to the collection.
From what I heard, Joe was alone in the film. Yeah, that's what I assumed too. And, you know, I get weird. I always look into stuff. And I think my friend actually looked into a property in Howard Beach that was apparently still owned by the family. So, I mean, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure the family was still in New York. His wife possibly still was living around the Howard Beach area. Thanks for the background on Salvatore. Please. No, that's fine, Margaret. You know, it's all right. It's not a big deal. I mean, but yeah, it's just so, I mean, obviously you know now, but that's, no one's judging you or anything like that. You know, it's fine. You're not ignorant. From when I heard Joe was alone, yeah. Johnny Pearlcat, wow. Thanks, I'll get mine soon. I'm studying law. Oh, is that right? Awesome. Yeah, it's a cool book because it really goes into like the trials. It goes because there's not that many of these death penalty trials. I think that Tommy Karate's was one of the first in regards to running like a drug enterprise.
Was it?
At least in New York, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Because I mean, he was going hard.
Because he was the first, and then after that, there was another guy that was. He had some gang. I remember some black gang called the 40 Thieves or some shit. And
Yeah.
He had a death penalty trial. If I'm not mistaken, somebody could correct me. But I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know if it says it in this book. Oh yeah, so there you go. It was the Federal Drug Kingpin Act, and then 1994 Federal Death Penalty Act. Yeah, so it has to do with those two acts, and I'm pretty sure 1980 enacted the Drug Kingpin Act, which authorized capital punishment for defendants who kill or cause intentional killing in connection with narcotics. Yeah, so that goes into place in 88, and then that's what happens with Tommy Karate. So it was the Federal Drug Kingpin Act. So he was killing in order to advance a drug enterprise. Pretty interesting stuff. And then, like I said later, there was another guy in New York who was running a gang called the 40 Thieves. He would end up getting hit with the same thing. Yeah. Wow, this is a guy who's first time showing up in here. Lee Cole. Massino's daughter disowned her father. Not sure if they made up towards the end. What's going on, Lee Cole III? Massino's daughter disowned her father. Not sure. Yeah, I'm sure I think he had 3 daughters. And yeah. And as we mentioned earlier, his wife, I don't think they were together at all. And she was highly embarrassed by what her brother did when they were on trial. Hey, Lee, here's a book that you should get. Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murderers. This is a cool little book by Leonard Orland. You might have to find it on like a law book website or some kind of book that sells database that sells like college books or something. But Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murders. It's a cool book to have on the shelf just to,
Lee Cole joined in. That's what's up, man.
Amazon has 5 copies left of Leonard Orland's book. There you go. So go on Amazon. I don't know how much they are. El Chucky Cabron, kids these days. Is this? I don't know who this is, but this is somebody that I know. KTD. Margaret Hearn. Thanks. Must watch more news. A few weeks back, you mentioned doing an episode on Frankie. I live a block away from. Yeah, I wanted to do an episode, Margaret, where I go to where he was killed because in that area of Brooklyn, what area of Brooklyn? I don't know if that's in the Borough Park area. I don't remember exactly where. But as you know, a lot of those houses are still there, including the house that he crashed his car into and fucked up the whole front of the house. That home is still there. So you get a lot of that in New York. We have a lot of respect for old architecture and a lot of, as much as New York City, Manhattan changes and parts of Brooklyn become gentrified, a lot of neighborhoods do not become gentrified. And you have homes that have been existing for 100 years because the brickwork is very good. And a lot of the blocks, the houses are connected. So you can have one block with like 15 houses that is just like one solid like fucking brick chunk of like townhouses or something or brownstones. Those are basically like fucking landmarks at this point. So you have a lot of beautiful stuff still left in New York City. That's my point. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. I do a lot of interesting different stuff here. Location stuff, documentaries mixed with locations. I spend a lot of time on the streets. And I try to do something cool and differently. Thanks for stopping by. I don't think you've ever came by or even commented on one of my videos before, Lee. What's going on with that? Lee just got into a little trouble. Lee just went to go to Lee's channel, and you could see that he just got into a little thing with Sammy the Bull.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Good night to you all. El Toro, thanks, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for dropping that donation and for hanging out. I think at most we had like, I don't do lives that much. We had like 70-something people at one point. Now it's at 46. Thanks for everybody who's still chilling at 2 hours and 48 minutes later. Thank you. Who is this? I think I know who this is. Is this somebody whose name starts with an E? Let me know. Again, I was mistaken. I thought it was Manhattan when he dropped his wife over a doctor for some early gangster. Yale was killed in Brooklyn. They ambushed him in Brooklyn, and then he crashed his car into the front of someone's house. And there's a photo of his car crashed, and it's like he destroyed like the whole front of the house, and his body's out or whatever. The house where that happened is still around. You could check that out. It's pretty cool. Sammy, you're still here. You might be back on the thing. You hit somebody, Roro? I didn't see it. If you did. Don't say sorry if you're mistaken, Margaret. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's okay. We're not all like experts at things here. I mean, I probably get things wrong too. Don't worry about it. Thanks for being here.
Hey, what's the linchpin of Bensonhurst? Is it where can I find that? Because I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, so you can watch that for free on the Tubi app, TUBI, Tubi.
Got it. Yeah,
You ever heard of that before?
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. So you can watch that for free on Tubi, The Linchpin of Bensonhurst.
Is it a documentary or like a show?
It's a documentary.
Okay, good.
Documentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Created by Ross Brodar and Bill Sharp. Ross Brodar has been on my channel.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I've seen them.
It's a great documentary. I suggest you check it out. And obviously the Dominic Montiglio, the Life channel. Check that out.
Oh yeah. I've seen those.
For anybody who doesn't hear Roro drop the link to the Life, Dominic Montiglio, the Life channel. Check that shit out. Pretty please.
Oh, real quick. You do you know the name, the guy old school, way back, Nicola Gentili?
Nicola Gentili?
Yeah, he was like involved in the Luciano days and shit.
Nicola Gentili.
Yeah. There he did an autobiography, but I don't know. I've never seen it. I can't find it. But I don't know whose channel they were talking about this book, and he like breaks down. It's like on some like the Joe Bonanno Man of Honor type book.
Okay.
That type of shit. But
you know what? I'm not sure. If I did, I forgot about it, but I can't say that I recall at this moment. No.
Yeah, it's Nicola, and then the last name is Gentile. Like I guess Gentili or Gentili. Yeah, but like I don't know about him, but apparently from what I heard, he was like super tied in from the old days.
Really?
And like I'm sure if you find the book, it's probably not cheap.
Yeah, some of these books are hard to find. Actually, thanks for bringing up like books again, because I meant to ask the chat. I probably should have asked earlier. So for anybody that's still here, I'm going to go soon, but I had I wanted to ask you guys something. I want you to do something. I hate to keep saying it, but here, this fucking book again. It has to do with something with this book, Capital Punishment Trials of Mafia Murders. It has to do with Tommy Karate, actually. I want to show you guys something, and let me know if you'll be interested in a live stream having to do with what I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second. Uno segundo. You drink whiskey, ATB Mob?
I will, but more of beers these days.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I was more of a cognac person for a while.
Oh, okay.
I
just mentioned it because I was moving a bottle out of the way to get to what I was getting.
You had the pour one?
No. I had it like a bottle in front of like my books or whatever. So I just
yeah.
I got some of this shit. But so guys, I don't know if you mean, of course you guys know, like when Tommy Karate was arrested, they found a lot of books in his possession, a lot of strange books.
Oh yeah.
So one of the books that they found in his possession this is one of them. This is a book called Man Trapping. It's called Man Trapping by Ragnar Benson. That's a pseudonym. And this is put out by a company called Paladin Press. And the purpose of this book basically is how to set like traps, like in warfare, like fucking spike logs and digging ditches and holes and all types of weird shit. I'll show you guys another one. Spike trap construction. Like you dig a hole out and there's like spikes. So when you fall in it, you fucking get impaled and shit. All right.
Yeah, that dude was wild, man.
So that's one book. And the most interesting set of books are these. You see this?
Oh yeah, what's it say?
How to Kill.
Oh yeah. I remember, and that was in the who was it? Philip Carlo or
Yeah, so it was reported in the news what he had, and it was reported in obviously Carlos' book talked about it a little bit. So this is How to Kill, also put out by Paladin Press. These are from the early 70s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 volumes of these How to Kill.
fucking
These are the originals from the 70s. And actually, if you look at some of the photos of when they collected Tommy's stuff, you'll see some of these books out, spread out and on table. And if you see in here, there's like photos of stuff. How to kill people effectively. Different weapons. So I was thinking of doing a live stream going over all of these books.
Why not?
And putting together different slides for all the photos and all the weapons and all this fucking stuff that's in here. If anyone's interested in something like that, it'll be pretty nerdy, but major plausible. Do we really need 6 volumes on that subject? Yeah. So the whole thing is like, do we need 6 volumes? Yeah. Well, there's always like new guns to be found and new weapons to be created, I guess. So volume 6, you started. It's very strange stuff. So you see like all these weapons. So Tommy had all of these. It would have been these copies here, these first editions. And there was 2 companies that were coming out with books like these, Paladin Press and another company called Lumpanix Unlimited. And they would come out with all types of bizarre, whacked out books like these. So if you guys want, I'm thinking of doing a stream where we just discuss all these fucking weird books, and I actually have some of them. So I could probably put together some slides and we can look at some cool shit.
I don't see why not.
I think that would be fucking cool.
Oh, I just thought of it. Speaking of books, another one that I can't find. It's called The Pleasant Avenue Connection.
I could tell you where you can read that for free.
Yeah.
You can't find it. You could find it, but you're going to pay like $300 or $400 for it.
Right. That's what I heard.
You ever go to archive.org?
I don't think so.
Archive.org is like the internet's archive. Like it archives all types of shit from the internet. You could find all types of weird shit on there, but it's also a place where you could find like FBI files are on there or whatever. So if you go to
archive.org,
is that right, Brian Rimlinger? Cool. Yeah. So if you go to, all right, so I'm going to try it on Google right now. So Pleasant Avenue Connection Archive. Don't type .org in the search. Just go Pleasant Avenue Connection Archive space .org. Archive.org.
Archive space.
Yeah. Don't when you like do a Google search, don't write archive.org. Just write the Pleasant Avenue Connection Archive.org. Okay, so I'm going to share this page with you right now. Check this out. Let me share it. Let me share it with you. For everyone listening, archive.org, fucking use it because it's awesome.
Yeah, that book, it sounds really, really fascinating.
So check this out. This is archive.org. All you got to do is set up an account or sign in with Google. You can log in and borrow this for like an hour at a time. And you can read the whole thing. Here it is. You see it?
Yep.
Pleasant Avenue Connection. No, I'm not logged in, but once you log in, you can fucking
perfect. Yeah.
You can read it.
That's what year you think that came out?
I think it was the 70s. 76. There you go. 1976.
Yeah. I love those ones.
Yeah, so go on archive.org. You can read this shit. I knew it was here because I looked for it, but I still haven't read it, but I made sure to see if it was here. So the reason why I found this, because I was looking at the other book called Prince of the City, that I found on archive.org, which is also about what led up to like the Knapp Commission, like all of that, all that shit. When will the zine be on again? I wish I knew I would offer you my royal station if you wanted to use it. You could still send it to me. I could still probably use it, Boombots. I have everything. Everything is made. Everything is put together for it. I just have to and I actually have a publisher for it too. If you guys want to see, I can give you a preview of kind of what it would look like. Boombots, I know you're an art dude. I know you were into the graphic design and all the commercial art and stuff like that. But I'll give you guys kind of a sample of what it would look like. It's going to be put together a little better than a zine. Not as like cheaply homemade, but still pretty cool. So what I will do is I'll give you guys kind of a sample. And it'll be, I believe, about 50 pages. Oh, do you really, OG? Fuck yeah, send it to me. You know how to get contact me.
50 pages, that's perfect for a zine.
Yeah, it's gonna be 50, but it's gonna be, like I said, it's not gonna be like those cheap stapley things. It's actually gonna be a regular, it's gonna be like a regular soft cover kind of book.
Yeah, in this day and age, like it's kind of the same fucking price as it would have been for the staples.
You know, Carnage zines?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like this one, like the Mayhem one.
Yeah.
Which is dope. Like something of this kind of quality, right?
Like it has the binding kind of.
Yeah, not like a cheap fucking staple job.
Yep. Yeah, I got a lot of the Carnage joints.
Yeah, Carnage is dope.
I know some of those fools.
But it'll be like landscape, kind of like a longer book, not like it'll be like more longer. Google them, you can buy them. Tommy makes his own art. Yeah. So I can show you guys like a sample kind of what, and I have 50 different interesting things. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I guess I will, whatever.
Yeah, why not?
It's good to talk about these things sometimes because then you have to make them. You can't like fuck around and not make it.
Yeah, you commit.
Because now I already talked about it, so I got to fucking do it. So I'm going to put an overlay on the screen, and this is kind of what the book. So the book, it's going to be some photos of people haven't seen before. It's going to have some put together FBI files mixed with old news articles that you might not have seen before, and they're all going to form. Each page is going to form a story, basically. And it's going to be put together like an artsy kind of zine book. So this is one page that'll be in it, for example. So this is an ad referencing reward for 2 missing men. The brother of missing Kuwaiti businessman is offering a $10,000. So this is an article in the news about the disappearance of Ronald Falcaro and Khalid Dowd, which happened at 4214 Glenwood Road, Broadway Freddy's shop. That's where they were murdered. You have Broadway Freddy's car. You have the original ad of these guys missing. And then you have Vito Arena from the FBI files testifying what happened to them. I heard silent shots yelling and moaning. I opened the door and saw Henry with a Beretta and a silencer. Falcaro and Dad were dead. There was blood all over the place. Arena testified. One of the mobsters said, now we're going to cut them up. Joey and Anthony had suitcases with saw and boning knives. Arena said he and Minerlee before then instructed to go buy pizza and Frankfurters to eat. So you see how the story is here. You have a piece of the FBI files. You have a cool article of them missing. You have Broadway Freddy's car. So it all comes together in some like fancy, like artsy kind of fucking book. You guys think that's cool, or is that fucking whack? It's weird. I forgot the web. We lost ATB Mob again. I forgot the website. I guess he found a way to skirt around the Son of Sam law. Yeah, those laws are really weird anyway, Boombots. Those laws are are weird anyway. I don't know how much you can really enforce those laws. Not all states actually enforce Son of Sam laws, actually, if you look into it. Some of them have trouble enforcing it, really, because it also comes down to a freedom of speech issue. Like, who the fuck are you to say that I can't talk about my life? I feel like if any of us try to find these online, we'll be putting on a watch list. Yeah, that's all right. They can watch me, and then they can find out that I have a YouTube channel, and then it'll all make sense. If you buy this book, you'll be on a watch list too. All right, yo, ATB.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna let you out, and I'm gonna say bye to everyone.
Yeah, this was fun, man. Keep it rolling.
Thanks, bro.
Man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. My boy's just calling me right now. The one I told you he's relapsed and he's about to start painting shit and try to get me to come out. But tonight ain't the night. But
oh shit.
He told me he's
careful.
got a really good story. He's hyped it up, so I'm about to hear something
shit.
funny involving
something happened.
But
yo,
hey, man,
thanks,
yeah,
bro.
Definitely. Thank you for putting this show on, man. Keep it rolling.
Thanks, bro. You're the first guest I've ever had just pop in, so thank you for that, and hopefully we'll make it a thing. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, of course, dog. Hey, you have a good weekend, man.
You too, bro. Peace. Stay safe.
Late. You too.
Later. Awesome. Thank you, Ruby. I'll check that out. You just happen to have that? Damn it. That's so cool. Son of Sam law prevents convicted killers from profit of crime as long as they do not draw paint killings or crimes. Yeah. He just paints pictures, Tommy Karate, of like former mobsters, or he'll do self-portraits or whatever celebrity it may be. Balloon Knot. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here with the Trump mugshot, the famous Trump mugshot. Excuse me. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. what was that? That was a bullet rye. A little burn in the throat, a little spice. Yeah, it was long, Roro. Thank you. I was 11, 12 years old during the Son of Sam. I remember it all pretty clearly. Yeah, I wasn't even alive, but I'm sure it was quite a time to be alive. So listen, thank you everybody again. Let me try to thank you, Brenda Sykes, for your donations. Thank you, Roro. Thank you, Turbo Sammy. $99.99 Turbo. You're the fucking man. Brenda Sykes, 50, Roro 20, plus the Cash App. Thank you, Aunt Shari. Thank you, John Sheeser. Allison Sheeser. I hope I'm not forgetting it. Oh, Johnny Pearlcat. Who else? Shit. I'm going to go back because I don't want to forget anybody. El Toro. Thank you. Steve Valley. Can't forget you, buddy. Scott H. That's who I was forgetting also. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you, everybody who donated, everybody who stopped by and said hello. Some of you guys have been hanging out this whole time. Thank you, Margaret. Good night, Johnny. Vinny Boombots. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I guess he could sell art if it's not, I don't know. I guess if it's a mobsters or whatever the hell it is. I have no idea. Somebody's selling it for him. I think whoever runs that Instagram account. Is that right, Brian? Interesting. Thank you. Joey Frakes, have a good night, bro. I'll probably see you in some of the other live chats in the MobTube sphere. Thank you so much. Everybody, listen, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed this. We covered a lot of interesting things. I am going to remove myself from the stream. And yes, you did. You did. I follow it on Instagram now. Steve Valley, thank you, buddy. I'm going to remove myself from the stream. And I'm going to close it out with what I opened it up with because we talked a lot of Bronx tonight. So we're going to close it out with somebody from the Bronx. Yes, that's coming. That's coming, Michelle. Thank you. That's coming. Yeah, you could resend it just in case maybe we're not talking about the same thing. You could resend it or hit me up on Instagram. Everybody, have a great night. If you want to stick around for Dion, you'll stick around. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out.
That won't come true, but don't pity me. Pity my heart that's gonna break. Pity my kiss that you won't take, but don't pity me. Pity from others I have plenty of, but darling, from you I want love. Pity the love I'll hold away to me someday, but don't pity me.